Yes! Back. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered
everywhere they go.
Welcome to the Top Ball Podcast. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We're going to be sharing the love of our football clubs here tonight. But before we do get into that, I am joined by Oscar, the world club champion,
the
Chelsea
reigning, defending, undisputed heavyweight champions of the world, Chelsea Football Club. How you guys doing?
Yes, indeed. I'm joined by Rubinho, a PSG and Manchester United fan.
Obviously, tomorrow, Alele Blues, let's go. But one person said on a certain player that if you start that player, you start 1-0 down. Ladies and gentlemen, when you start Harry Maguire, you start 1-0 down. You start 1-0 down.
You've arrived.
So that is what I'm going to say.
Was that quote for Moreno?
It was for Moreno, but I could have used it for the same thing. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Moreno.
Man. I'm joined by David, an Arsenal fan.
We can't keep 11 men on the pitch. Chelsea have now gone one. I now have to deal with Oscar winning all the trophies there is to win.
All the trophies.
Welcome to the club, Oscar.
Stan Kroenke has gone and won the Super Bowl.
Let's go.
And then today's Valentine's Day, and I'm seeing everyone with their girlfriends at work, bro. Why am I still single, bro?
With their girlfriends at work.
I'm seeing everyone with their girlfriends. It's just bare roses and that. I'm just like, oh, this is just a long day, but yeah, I'm good.
I saw hella roses today. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen bare roses on road.
Yeah, I can't lie. I'm a bit surprised that some of you have turned up to the pod.
Easy.
I think you guys are in long-term relationships with some.
Listen.
Hey, tell them again, Oscar.
With some high-class women, but you're here. You're gonna talk about Zuma's cat when you could be. You could be with your beautiful women. I don't understand it,
dude. I'm married to the game, bro. I'm married to the game. I'm not.
Look at that. That is what we are talking about. That is world class right there. Big up to Ethan, who is here. Evan, who is here, a Liverpool fan all the way from California, who is still feeling the confetti of the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. Liverpool fan. Evan, happy birthday as well. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, man. It feels great to be here. I'm equally annoyed that it's Valentine's Day though, because I gotta share my big day with the rest of the world. You know, it's bullshit. You know, I'm not into that. I'm not into that. But the Rams won the Super Bowl last night. I'm feeling good. I'm also a Rams fan. Kroenke in officially. Absolutely. Stan Kroenke holding the most important trophy in his cabinet. Feels great.
Quick question on that. Is that that's the Ram? Is that the Rams' first Super Bowl in your lifetime?
In my lifetime, since they've been in LA, yes.
Quick cue. What have you been around since was it in St. Louis as well, or was it just when they both in LA both times?
I started following American football when I was in LA, so I was just like support my local. I guess I'm a Rams fan. So.
I mean, it kind of works. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I got in at the right time. You know what I mean? It's worked out in my favor. So yeah.
Look, it could have been the Chargers, mate. You're good to go.
Exactly.
Before we get started, I want to big up the people in the comments already. Big up David. He says big up top 4. Big up SW6 completion. Boss like Endo says big dog. Where Wagwan? Huh?
The big
dog is
here.
Yeah. Oh, he's the big dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Love to Baraka always and every time. C1, you're a legend. What's he say? Harry Maguire as Pastor Davidson. A wise man once said, "You're not that guy." Yeah, man.
He's not, bruv.
A-Class is champions of the world. SW6 said, dedication to the pod, Oscar. Dedication. Yeah, man. I rate it. The guys are there.
They struggled. They did struggle, but they made it. So hats off to Chelsea.
Yeah,
third English team to do it.
Yeah, we're going straight in.
It's only right that we begin there. I think Chelsea getting winning 2 games in 3-4 days, winning the FIFA Club World Cup. Oscar, you have done it all. You have done it all.
Done it all. I feel like I've lived the dream, man. I've lived the dream. Like honestly, I started supporting Chelsea before the Abramovich era, when we were just a club that we were trying things. Finishing 6th, 7th. I wasn't there for the dark days of the early 90s and the 80s, but late 90s, we was all right. We won a few FA Cups, here and there. But I honestly like, I never thought we'd win everything this soon. But then when the money came in, I thought it would happen within like 10 years. So it kind of took longer than I thought, but shorter than I thought at the same time. So yeah, man, my football journey has been amazing. I've seen my club go from strength to strength to strength, and I always have to be grateful and grounded and reminded of the times when we weren't that club. Do you know what I mean? Because I consider Chelsea a big club now. We weren't a big club before. Baraka says, world champs, the world is blue. There was a time when I couldn't even say London is blue. You know what I mean? I couldn't even claim West London confidently. You never knew what was gonna be around the corner. So yeah. In terms of that, winning the Club World Cup, that was amazing. In terms of where Chelsea are right now as a team, my goodness, it was a struggle. My goodness, it was.
I did say, and Palmeiras, they put up a fight.
No, but even that, like Robin, no disrespect to Palmeiras, no disrespect to Al Hilal, these teams that we faced. Yeah, they're good teams, but we were poor. Like we were really, really bad. And the fact that this was a game where we could win a trophy meant at the end of it, I didn't want to focus on the poor performance, but it was really, really poor. It was really, really poor. I'm just happy that we've reached the peak and reached the pinnacle and hit a trophy that we failed to reach in 2012. But yeah, did any of you guys see the game? What were your thoughts?
I missed the game, but I can vouch that the Club World Cup is not easy because you're going up against teams that just play so doggedly. Like those Brazilian teams just leave everything out there. I remember a few years ago when we were in the final, we were up against Flamengo, and they're out here singing songs about how they beat us in 1985. These are some serious fans who show up, and to them, the Club World Cup, it's everything. To us, Premier League, Champions League, it's a bit more that focus, but. Yeah. And these teams, they just leave everything out there. And it's tough to win because they're asking you to go mid-season when your head might be elsewhere. Chelsea's, they still got the league to worry about. They still got the Champions League to worry about. So it's, it's not as straightforward as the rest of these teams that are kind of hating from outside the club to try to make it out to be. You know what I mean? But,
there's a couple haters, man. There's a couple haters.
Yeah. No, do you know what? It's pure jealousy from my standpoint. I mean, I as Oscar mentioned at the beginning, he supported the club when, a couple FA Cups, kind of like if they get a good cup run, decent season, right? And to watch this football club, like beside me, sort of from behind and then overtake us by a long stretch. And at the time, like for me, it's come so quick. I know to you, Oscar, you're probably thinking, you wanted it in 10 years.
Yeah, both. Blah. Quick and long at the same time.
To think like, certain years go fast. Let me put it that way. Like it's been a lot of years, but the years do go quick. And it's just a bit like, Roman Abramovich came here with one thing in mind, one agenda in mind was to win it all. And he's now officially done so. And yeah, of course, the Club World Cup for me, I think it's I would love to win that tournament. I know there's a lot of criticism about it. I know a lot of European teams or, European fans don't really even give it that much attention, but I'm sorry, like if you're playing the Champions Leagues of each continent, and then the winner of that wins, that's huge, that's massive. So for me, I'm just like, look at that, it's just decoration. Do you know what I mean? That's just decoration. Yeah. And so yeah, you can barely even see the Champions Leagues. They're just they're not even hidden, but it's like what you're seeing is that FIFA World Cup one, the Premier League titles are there, the FA Cups in that front row. I mean, it's unbelievable, man. And look at the managers you've had as well. Top class managers, all of those.
Yeah, for real. For real.
It's easy to say that Chelsea are firmly the third biggest team in England. Like,
wow.
In terms of history and so forth. Yes, by now. Besides Liverpool, Manchester United, I would say now they are.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a Twitter space today that I saw, and it was Chelsea versus Arsenal. Who's the bigger team? And I went in and said Arsenal is the bigger team. I still think Arsenal are a bigger club than Chelsea.
I still think popularity-wise, yes, but when you get to this point, you just have to actually ask this question.
My brother,
in terms of the football, it is Chelsea.
Yo, bro. Once you got 2 Champions League, bro. We ain't got one, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day,
yeah, 13 Premier League titles is a lot. Yeah, I don't know how many Chelsea have got, but bro.
Yeah, Oscar, do you know how many titles Chelsea have in total?
We've got 6, so there's 5 on your screen right now. That's in the Roman era, but we won 1 league title before that.
Not league titles, sorry, I mean trophies altogether. Because what's given the reason why Man United and Liverpool are normally obviously the top 2. Liverpool have actually won the most trophies in England, right?
Yes.
So there's a massive argument there whereby you'd say actually Liverpool's number 1 over Manchester United, even though United have 20 league titles and Liverpool have 19?
19, yeah.
But Liverpool have 5 Champions Leagues. Was it 6 now even? So
6, yeah.
you know, so I argue that Liverpool is a bigger club than Manchester United. That would be my argument because they've got more trophies and then they've got more European trophies to boot. Okay, they're 1 league title behind. Do you know what I'm saying? Like what?
Yeah.
Am I just going to wait 1 year? I still think Arsenal's bigger than Chelsea simply because Arsenal have more trophies collectively. I know those European ones, though. I can't ignore those. I mean, 4 European titles and then 1 world title. I mean, it's hard to argue against. It's very hard.
Let me go to some of the comments real quick. Boss Lander says Arsenal 31, Chelsea are now on 27.
Jesus.
Welcome Lola. She says if it's purely based on the cabinet, it's Chelsea. If you don't have a Champions League, it's long. Arsenal have more overall trophies, but Chelsea have the European big boy.
Oscar, stop there for a second. Just for a second. Because, you know, people like Villa, Nottingham Forest, Celtic, they've all won Champions Leagues. Well, called different names back then, but they've won the big European Cups.
The European Cup. Yeah.
You would never put any of those clubs bigger than Chelsea bigger than Arsenal, who've never won the Champions League or even the Europa League. We've only won like the cup with the European Cup Winners' Cup and the Fairs Trophy and stuff like that. So you would
how many times have you won the Cup Winners' Cup?
Ooh, it's a great question. I only know of 1 time.
Chelsea have won that twice.
I think you got to find like a difference in terminology. So you say who's a bigger team. When I think of that, I just think of like sheer numbers in the fan base. Maybe you could say that Chelsea are the greater team than Arsenal in history. Maybe just in recent history of winning things, where Arsenal are undoubtedly the bigger team in terms of.
Can you even say that we're greater?
Oh, actually, no. Sorry. A better thing would be to say is Liverpool, when you just look at sheer numbers of trophies, they might be the greater team than United. But even I can sit here and tell you that United have a bigger fan base than Liverpool globally. It's not by a huge amount, but it's significant enough to say it, I think.
See, for me, I don't take the fan base as part of it. In all honesty, I just because fan sizes change over time. Who knows what it was like when Forest were winning the league and whatever else. Like that could have been a big thing. And it's the fact that fans can change sides at any moment in time. The trophies remain. It stays there.
And so I think what works in Chelsea's favor in terms of that fan size thing is Chelsea our success has come in the age of the internet. So more people just have access to our success. When Arsenal were winning their first 4 or 5 league titles, it wasn't a worldwide event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we are naturally going to gain more fans now than you would have back then.
I think,
Peter, to back up on your trophy thing, I think it depends on the trophies as well, because we can say, for example, Villa and Nottingham Forest, they've both won Champions League, but the actual trophy cabinet in terms of that is not comparable to everything. So when you add everything together, it doesn't amount to what a Chelsea does or what an Arsenal does. Even though being in the Champions League is a big thing. It's a big thing. Since then, between 70s and now, that's a good 30, 40 years, and no big things since then. I think you have to include that as well.
I think a big part of Chelsea's recent success and just becoming a bigger club is that their recent success has coincided with the internet era and the global reach of the Premier League. Like just in my lifetime, I just turned 26. I've watched the Premier League come from something that was kind of a niche interest in the U.S. sports viewership, and now it's huge. Now it's huge. I could count on one hand how many people I knew when I was 10 years old that watched the Premier League. Now I know at least 50 people in real life that are into it. And of course, Chelsea being having their best period ever as a club during this global boom of the Premier League, that's huge. And I can tell you right now, in the US market, Chelsea are a top 3 team, undoubtedly. It's Liverpool, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, a bit close behind that. I just know quite a few Chelsea fans, and the support's big.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's just kind of crazy for me to hear because you always kind of frame it by what you knew to be big when you were a child.
Yeah.
So when I grew up when Arsenal were the third biggest team, and it wasn't even close. So to hear that, it's like it shows how far we've come as a team. But some of the comments have got things to say. C1 says Chelsea have the European heritage. Taha says Chelsea have the African fan base. All the African kings come from Chelsea. That is just funny.
We had Kanu in it. We had Kanu. Come on.
Baraka says the type of trophy does play a part in the conversation.
For sure. Yeah, I didn't realize the margin was that close, 27-31. I still thought you lot were way back, but bloody hell.
Yeah, because we've fallen asleep at the wheel, bro.
Yeah, we have caught up very, very quickly.
The thing is, though, the bit. There's a bitterness in my tongue whereby, I look at Chelsea and I just think, for goodness sake, like, we bought it all kind of thing. And, we're watching rock up, and just start winning league titles. And I'm sure Man United are thinking, hang on a minute, what's going on over here? Newcastle is next. So the people who are like 18 and 20 years of age, who are watching Newcastle being relegation fodder every other year, all of a sudden in 5 years, 10 years time, they're going to be looking at that team like we're looking at Man City, 3 or 4 years ago. So it's football is such a strange one. I agree that it's definitely the type of trophies for sure, but 13 titles and the most FA Cups, I don't think it's anything you can shirk.
Lola says, put it this way: there was a time when Spurs had the most FA Cups. I've never heard Spurs being lauded as a big club until Poch came.
Yeah, that's such a good point. That's
an outside the club type club, if you get what I mean. Spurs are playing outside the club. It's super interesting though, because some guy in the Athletic just made a case that Spurs are the most valuable club in England right now because of the success of their new stadium. I found that so hard to believe, but apparently the argument was like mathematically sound. It's the business side of football is so strange. I don't understand.
It's ridiculous. I think we were Arsenal in 2009-10 were up there with Madrid and Barcelona in terms of value because the Emirates was like still newish at that time.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and we're talking about a £1 billion stadium at Spurs. No doubt. That really happened.
And on the flip side, in 09-10, Liverpool were going to administration and they were bought essentially for free. So it's crazy how fast things change.
I mean, even Chelsea bought for £1. Crazy times.
Do you know what I hate about that? What I hate about that 09 sort of 2010 era is that because when Chelsea came and started becoming this big juggernaut, it was at the time where the likes of Arsenal had to sell everyone at stake just in order to stay afloat. And then Man City came out of nowhere as well. And so we used to just fight between us and Man United, which was doable. But then to fight against Man United, Chelsea, and City, we just thought this is a joke. And then Liverpool, they got it together. They just started using their brain because they've always had that. You know what I mean? They just started to use their brain, and then all of a sudden, nice. Now they're good to go.
I just want to touch on Evan's point because you mentioned about Tottenham Stadium, and obviously Arsenal have redone their stadium. I think what's a big reminder for me of who Chelsea are is the fact that when I first started supporting Chelsea, I went to Stamford Bridge. I go to Stamford Bridge now, and it's the same place. Like it's everything at Chelsea has changed. We are exponentially a way bigger club than we were before. Our players cost way more. We're a better team. But Stamford Bridge still looks as it did when I went there and I saw Idiger Johnson starting up front. Do you know what I mean?
So is it, as someone who's never been there, like, is it kind of like Old Trafford in the sense that it needs a fresh coat of paint, or is it just old? Like, is that just
Stamford Bridge for me it's old and it's tiny. Like,
is it just small? Like, is that
it's small? Okay, it's not super old because the stands were redone in the 90s.
Yeah, they get updated. Yeah,
they got updated, so it doesn't feel like you're in some old relic of a place, but it's really small. It's cramped. Like if you go in the upper tiers, where you go to get a drink, I send Peter a picture every week when I'm at Stamford Bridge. So I'm like, you can't move. You're like you're in the train at rush hour. It's like that, getting a drink at Stamford Bridge. But then when I go to the Emirates, it's like tons of space. It's like a new thing. I'm like,
I've heard the Emirates and the Tottenham Stadium are just incredibly comfortable. Like it's just like space age stuff. Like I would really love to go there.
You don't. As somebody who went to the Emirates more so as a fan beforehand, like you take for granted because when you go to away grounds, and then I realized, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, I always stand at a ground and I'll be like, I used to say it to Chelsea. Actually, I used to say it to Oscar when we used to go Chelsea, like Arsenal Chelsea games, like at Stamford Bridge. I'll be like, this is not. I can't believe this. This is Chelsea's stadium.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah. Do you know what done me? So earlier the year in that famous FA Cup game, me and Peter went to Nottingham for Arsenal versus Nottingham.
Oh.
And we're in this stadium. Like, this is a 90s stadium. Like, this is a 90s Premier League ground. They've got Brian Clough memorabilia all on the walls. And I'm thinking, what? Like, how is this still existed in 2022? It's crazy.
Yeah. We were proper stepping in like historic patches. But you know what? Manchester City, let me ask you this. They've got 28 trophies in total, right? So more than Chelsea. However, I don't know if there's any European sort of glory there.
But they won Division. How many times they win Division 1? Like, what is that? They went down and came back up so many times.
Sure.
They dominated the championship, man. Come on. I'm not having it. They won the LVD Vans trophy. Get out.
Remember, when they say that the type of trophy always matters.
Is there any impetus to expand Stamford Bridge or build a new stadium given the backing?
Listen, they've tried.
What do you mean given the backing? Chelsea have tried.
They've been trying to leave Stamford Bridge for
the reason. I feel like the reason Arsenal felt a pressure to build the Emirates because they had to capitalize on the golden era of their club. And because they didn't have an insanely wealthy backing, so they had to, like Spurs, try to turn themselves into a big market team by creating a big market in a stadium. You know, and to be honest, I debate whether they should have built the Emirates or not. But for Chelsea, there's no real. You can become a big market team just by continuing to increase your valuation of a club due to the backing. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, if Arsenal had Abramovich, they could have hung out at Highbury for a lot longer. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's less of
I say this. It's because, from my point of view, because I don't live too far from Stamford Bridge, it's the area. There is no space. That is what it is.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, it's first of all, London.
No space.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
And it's a little bit political still.
Very a little bit. For Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't think the UK want Roman building in England.
Yeah,
I think that's a big deal about giving up that land and stuff like that. But in terms of just the club in general, I feel like Arsenal needed to move. Like Chelsea had a bigger stadium than Arsenal. Like Arsenal have always been a bigger club than Chelsea, but Stamford Bridge was bigger than Highbury. That's crazy. These guys went invincible, and we had a bigger stadium than them. Why?
The catalyst for the Emirates move, by the way, was because in the Champions League, our stadium capacity got reduced because I think it's to do with like advertising boards. So we used to lose like the first 5 or 10 rows on each stand, so that ad boards could be very well displayed. So we went from a 38,000 stadium to I think it was around low 30s. Late 20s sort of numbers.
That's crazy. So you're taking an L on match day revenue for the games that should have the biggest. That's crazy to think about. Wow.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
And then
remember when you moved the games to Wembley? That was horrible.
we did a year at Wembley to see if we could afford to have that many fans at a stadium. And we used to sell Wembley, which was I think 91 at that time. I think it was like 84 in the old Wembley. And once we knew we could sell 84,000 tickets a game for a Champions League, then they said, right, bang. Because they started building Emirates, don't forget, in 2001.
Yeah, 2001.
So we're talking before Invincible, before the double in 2002. But the problem was, in order to pay for that stadium or to build that stadium, it was a sacrifice to winning football matches, which is, so where do I stand with the Emirates Stadium? Honestly, I'm torn. In terms of should we have stayed at Highbury? Yeah, very torn. Because it's easy to say, every Arsenal fan will say we should have stayed at Highbury. Literally 99% of them will say we should have stayed at Highbury because they cared about the trophies and winning trophies. But then at the same time, we would not be half of, like, you look at Arsenal now, it's still a huge club globally.
Massive
and
institution.
And it's not winning league titles. It's not winning European titles. So you can imagine if we did do this, if only we started winning, God, where would we be? So Sorry, Evan. Lastly, Chelsea's issue with building a new stadium is where can they do it? They've tried a few places and they're not getting planning permission, and they're having to move to different areas outside of like kind of their local hub.
And they can build on top of their current stadium, but what they want to do with it doesn't equate to the space.
Yeah, we can't build where we are because of the train track. So there's not train space.
I don't have any knowledge of the surrounding area, so it's either a full relocation or nothing.
Yeah. And the reason the relocation is such a big issue is because of Taha's comment right there. He said because of the wasteman pitch owners. Personally, I don't think they're wastemen, but there's a group of people. When Chelsea was going under, what's the word? Where you're going under?
Administration.
Administration was not the word I was thinking of.
Liquidation.
That same thing. The one begin with R. It's gonna come. Okay. But yeah, when Chelsea were in the mud and were about to go under, they were looking for opportunities to save the club, and the fans bought the pitch. So the fans clubbed together and spent money into the club to buy the pitch. So there is a group of people who are Chelsea pitch owners, and they own the name Chelsea. So Chelsea Football Club is owned by the Chelsea pitch owners. And obviously, if we move stadium, they will no longer be pitch owners. So Roman has to either strike a deal with them where they're okay with it in order for us to say that we are Chelsea Football Club in the long term, basically. So they'd have to sell that. But those people were being stubborn. They were just like, no, we're not selling. We don't want to move from Stamford Bridge.
Reminds me of when like a third party owned Carlos Tevez' contract when he was at West Ham. Remember that? It's kind of weird.
That is interesting.
But yeah, to build over Stamford Bridge, you would have to talk to like the tube.
No, it's like
move that train under.
They can't.
It's long.
It's impossible. By the way, Evan, Arsenal created a whole new ground, like in terms of like just a place where they just got rid of all this industrial area and then just put a stadium on top of it, literally. So
it wasn't like an empty lot or anything.
No.
They had to bulldoze. Okay, wow,
a whole lot. And
Evan, have you been to London, Evan?
I've just flown in and out.
There's literally no space anywhere.
So like, you're either building your stadium on the outskirts in a place that isn't technically London, or you're bulldozing stuff that's already there.
Yeah,
correct.
That's expensive.
Yeah,
and if you're bulldozing stuff, it costs you an arm and a leg.
And the local politics, you have the civil engineers of the city that says this is not in the best interest of the city to have a 90,000. So yeah, that's a problem here in the States, as you can imagine. So many teams, you know what I mean? Like the San Francisco 49ers, they don't play in San Francisco. They play in Santa Clara. Where's Santa Clara, you ask? Of course you don't know where that is. You know what I mean? Because guess what? There's no space. There's no space in San Francisco. They can't build a stadium there. So it's the same problems out here, you know. I don't know.
You know what's funny? Because I was speaking with somebody that the New York Jets and the Giants don't play in New York City, and I was like,
New Jersey.
Dude, where would they play in New York City? Like, where in in Manhattan do you just decide we're gonna plot
Yankee Stadium? You're gonna knock down Yankee Stadium and go again.
You know what I'm saying? It's mental. It's like, and Liverpool. I think Liverpool. That's why Liverpool just said we're gonna extend our stands because again, Liverpool. It's right in residential areas. Like it's literally in the middle of houses.
Like if they build any more, they're gonna have to buy people out of their homes. So really, Liverpool can only build into the Mersey Park, or they can only build up. They can't build in like 75% of the surrounding area.
It's really weird. The same thing in Manchester. So at Old Trafford, the issues are. There's a giant train track next to the station that actually has a station next to it. So you can't go that way. And then the other way, you technically can, but then you lose all parking. So where are the fans going to park? Where are the people going to go?
You're going to have to get rid of the parking, man. You're going to have to.
No, I was going to say, no. Old Trafford's got a lot of land around it. Like you, do you remember they're talking about Manchester United World? They're going to create that.
You need to understand. A lot of people drive to Old Trafford. I don't know why. But because we've got trams going left, right, and left. But
you take that away. You just deal with it. You just deal with it. I think.
Don't y'all have that stupid hotel next to the stadium?
That is owned by Gary Neville. That's not owned by Man United.
Gary
That's
Neville.
outside the
Gary
land.
Neville's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
so
that's
Gary Neville
out
has
the
a
coast.
hotel. Yeah,
He
great.
has a hotel.
Him and
That is
him
outside
and
the
Giggs,
line.
right? It's him and Giggs' hotel, isn't it?
And Skulls.
And
Skulls.
Skulls.
This
So-
is this
but yeah.
has been a really interesting.
Class of '93 is a disease, bro. Get him out. What the hell is that? They got hotels around the stadium. They choose who the next manager is. It's toxic. Get him out.
Gosh, we will talk about Man United a little bit later, man. I'm excited. But we've just been talking about this for quite a while, so I do want to get to the comments.
Do you know what? This has been a great conversation.
It's been a great conversation. Yeah. It's been fluid, man. Big up Brandon Nelson. He's out here. Pete, he's asking you if you think the Kroenke super team had one of the highest median salaries of 218 million winning the Super Bowl. Maybe you'll put some money into Arsenal.
Listen,
we'll get to Arsenal soon. We'll get to Arsenal soon. I'm
hoping he was drinking that success.
Bro,
I thought, I need this elsewhere. That's
he
what I'm hoping.
threw so much money into the team mid-season. For those of you who don't know, he made 2 huge mid-season moves. It was insane.
Mind you, though, that signing. Mind you, the signing of what's the coach called that they took from at the time Washington's team?
Sean McVay.
McVay, right? When they took him, I was like, okay, this is because I watched the All or Nothing documentary when they just got him in. And I remember thinking, like, man, and by the way, that stadium that they used to play in was rubbish. I mean, it's just.
But this new stadium is the nicest stadium in the country. It is
What's the name
insane.
of it?
SoFi. It's in a nice location in LA. I've been there. It's
Inglewood.
SoFi Stadium. Did they have a WrestleMania in the stadium?
They have everything in the stadium. You could have a war in the stadium.
Next year.
Next year is at SoFi Stadium.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I've heard them talk about that.
The rumor has it, the United States obviously has the 2026 World Cup. Rumor has it World Cup's final is going to be at SoFi.
Wait. You what? United States has the World Cup?
Yeah.
United States, Mexico, and Canada, my friend.
Yeah, North America. North America has the World Cup. So apparently, this is where the World Cup final is going to be.
Hey, that's a great
Oscar,
location.
do you remember when they announced it and I said to you, dude, we are going to Canada, America, and Mexico.
Nah, dude, come to California, bro. You don't want to go to Toronto for a game.
No, I do, man. I want to sing in Toronto, man.
I want to go to the
Nah, come on, dude. Come to the beach, bro. You can go to the beach before the game. It's nice.
LA team, fam.
Yeah.
What are they playing? They're playing in like that giant Mexico arena that's like high in the mountains that has thin air.
Dude,
how does that work?
It's gonna be a fuckery because like you said, the elevation is so crazy. And I remember when Mexico had the World Cup last time, my dad actually went and he said he was walking around with all these British people who have never put sunscreen on before in their life, and they are just the most they're the most sunburnt people he had ever seen in his life. All these like early 90s English fans. Yeah.
And those English fans back then, boy.
Yeah.
And by the way, listen, black people, put some sunscreen on, okay?
Oh,
if you're
for
going
real.
to that World Cup, do me a favor.
California and Mexico. Don't think you can out black this. Don't think you can BLM your way through the sun. Like I'm so black. The sun? Come on, man. Get out of it.
Oscar, I got sunburned in France, blood. In France.
Yeah, I remember when you got sunburned.
Bro, there's holes in the ozone layer above Mexico. The sun rays are different, bro. It's like different. Like, don't mess around.
Lola's annoyed that we even made the connection. She said there's no link to the Rams and the Arsenal except Arsenal funding the Rams.
Can I just say that?
I said it in the group chat yesterday. I said, that Arsenal money, where it's gone, looks fantastic.
I love how Arsenal fans are just like, hopefully he'll reinvest. It's like, how much money did you spend last summer? Like, remind me how much money was spent. It's a lot.
Evan, thank you. Thank you very much for that comment.
They like to think they're on this FSG level of ownership. First of all, it's different. It's different. I watched how much money you just spent. It's your fault if you spend it wrong. I'm sorry.
Guys, you got to see. By the way,
can we talk about the Arsenal while we're here?
When I say we spunk money, blood, like since 2017, it's been a laughing stock. We're in the 300 millions of transfer money. So.
It's not even the transfer money that's the biggest crime. It's the contracts you hand out. That for me is the biggest crime.
I mean,
that's the biggest crime at Arsenal.
You know what though? They're rectifying it slowly.
Yeah.
Oscar, no. Here's the thing. No, we're not really, because in all honesty,
can I just clarify? We have now moved to the Arsenal portion of the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just go straight in there.
Fine. But what I was going to say is that, we're still terminating contracts because people cannot be paying those wages that we were paying them. Whenever we're giving, Kolasinac contracts are getting terminated, for crying out loud. Kolasinac. So we're not. I don't know what it is, and I don't know whether Arsenal are the first team to be going through it, and whether everybody else, because I think Premier League wages are definitely unmatched. So, like, if for example,
it's a joke.
If Chelsea. Say Chelsea need to get rid of Alonso in the summer, and say he's still got a 2-year contract, it's going to be bloody difficult to get rid of him.
We can't get rid of Bakayoko, Alonso, Barkley. They're all on wages that no other club in any other country is willing to pay. So I genuinely think when somebody was rinsing me about Arsenal's wage bill, and I said, look, it's not good, but I don't think we're the only ones that are going to go through this. We're just the first acid test, because we have had a few 300 grand contracts going out there. Don't get me wrong, but you look at people. No clubs are going to be making money off their players like they used to. I mean, Chelsea was number one, and Liverpool are brilliant at doing it, but the Uniteds, Arsenals, Cities, they're not going to be getting big P's for their players. They're definitely not going to be, because those wages are going to be serious.
But listen, Man City is owned by a country, and I warned them about Newcastle. If they stay up, bruv, it's a wrap. We're done out here. But let's stay with the Arsenal.
We'll get there because they're staying up.
Yeah. Bruh. Okay, we won the game. What are we discussing, bro?
Well, let's talk about this. Well, just before we go there, Lola's got a comment about the previous thing. She said Arsenal money spent is money Arsenal earned. Are people forgetting that Arsenal are the only club without owner investment? Please, don't pretend these owners are good.
That's not what I was saying, by the way. And to be honest, the Rams earn their money too. The LA sports market is huge.
I was going to say
it is huge. It's bigger than London's sports market by a significant margin. Yeah. So
Rams, are you saying that Kroenke just doesn't care about anyone?
I'm saying if you think Kroenke is only investing in the Rams and not Arsenal, you're wrong. I think if you look at the numbers, it's pretty equal. And the Rams earn money too. That is not an artificially inflated Kroenke project. They have the best stadium in the country that they consistently sell out. The ticket prices are insane. They make an insane amount of money. The LA sports market is obscene. Like it's
Did you see how much it was for a pint?
You get to keep the cup. You get to keep the cup.
Yeah, I saw you too.
You get to take the cup home.
I don't buy it.
I want that aluminium sulfide, man. I want that. Whoever's got one, I need that.
Bro, Peter, you see that stadium? Yeah, you see like where pitch level. Bro, there's seats. There's a special box area, bruh. All around bruv. Can you imagine, bro?
It is the number one stadium in the world. It's number one in the world.
Yeah, I have never been to a stadium. No, I don't think there's a better stadium in the world.
Wow, I had no idea. I had no idea.
That stadium's sick.
It's insane.
They were showing tweets of people off the roof. I said, what is this?
Yeah. Okay. Peter, man, let's book those flights, man. Next year.
Oh, Kelly.
Let's go.
Oh, come on, I'm coming, man. I'm coming. Oh dear. The thing is, when
I'm being serious, by the way.
Oh, I'm dead ass. The thing is, like when stadiums are built and whatever, I think America's got one of the best like infrastructures in terms of like architectural buildings and whatnot. So when you look at a place like Tottenham and you look at a place like say Arsenal and whatever new grounds are there, maybe those two, you're quite wowed by it. You're like, wow, this is an amazing stadium. London Stadium as well. But then you go to America, like Dallas, you look at the frigging Cowboy Stadium, and you look at Atlanta Falcon Stadium, then you look at the frigging Rams.
Yeah,
it's a joke. These guys are pissing on us.
I will go on record and say that the most of the best college football stadiums in the United States.
Yeah,
absolutely shit on
clear.
Yeah,
clear.
So many of the college stadiums are nicer than like the NFL stadiums. It's crazy.
You know what? I got a colleague at work. So me and this guy, he watches like Tennessee college football, and we literally just salivate because we work in like the facilities department kind of thing at our job, and we just salivate at training arenas, like your facilities, your different whatever it may be, and we don't even care about the NFL. We are knee deep in the college stuff, and we're like, how can they have such a big big facilities over here for a college team? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Bro, you're absolutely right.
They got them man there that alumni, bro.
But
the peas, bro. They're spending
But you have to think
money.
about how NFL works. Really, the whole thing is from childhood all the way up, and they invest in everything to make sure that college football, that you can go straight into professional teams, and you get studies. It's all ingrained in the whole culture of America. But I wouldn't say that the stadiums that they're building out there. So if you look at two prime examples, Real Madrid and Barcelona, their new stadium, when it's done, my gosh, it'll compete with them. Completely.
I'm not sure.
Have you seen Madrid stadium at the end? Bro, I couldn't believe that.
Madrid is literally just building on what they have. They need to knock. Have you been to Madrid, by the way? Have you been to Real Madrid?
But the thing is, have you seen the progress? They knocked half of it down. That's why they were playing.
Guess what they need to do? Take the whole lot off, because that stadium.
But have you seen the finished product?
I'm just saying. What I'm saying is they need to do what Tottenham did. They flattened White Hart Lane and then rebuild, because the Bernabeu.
That's what they pretty much did.
Have they though? Have they?
I said, look at the finished product. Like that stadium's going to be made.
When I was talking to Liverpool fans who went to the Champions League final in 2019, the year we won, so many of them said the Metropolitano at Letty's Stadium was better than the Bernabeu. It was newer. It was more comfortable. There was more space. It wasn't claustrophobic. If you're sitting high up, you don't feel like you're about to. If you take one wrong step, you're falling down to the pitch. Like,
and that's the thing. The Bernabeu was so
the Bernabeu
steep.
It is a steep stadium.
But the Metropolitano is lovely. I was there for the Europa League semi-final when we went out. But yes, it was. I think in fact it was the same year you went to the final. The same year you went to the Champions League final.
Wait, what?
So we played Atletico in it, but
you went.
Wenger announced his retirement. Wenger said, "I'm leaving."
Remember when I showed you the trophy cabinet of Real Madrid? Because I went for a tour at the Bernabeu, then went to the game that night.
So you went to okay.
Right,
that makes sense.
As I'll always do. Do you know what I mean? I'll always go to whatever ground is near me, and I'll go for a tour there. Because Madrid had just lost to Bayern Munich that night, and we went for a tour the next day, and then Metropolitano was the other one. Was the day, literally the day after.
Real Madrid's new stadium is going to be brazy, says SW6. Adrian says Camp Nou is like 90k right now. Yeah, but the Camp Nou's old. Camp Nou's old, man. Camp Nou's old. When you go in there, you're like...
rebuild it. They're trying to rebuild it as well. 100k at a football stadium. I can't imagine that.
It's silly, though. Like, when you get to... Once you get over 70,000, it gets silly. Like, what are you really seeing?
I can't see.
I can't lie.
No, like the acoustics get messed up.
I think OT is an exception in terms of what you can see, because you can see wherever you sit.
Where?
And it's still over 70k. Yeah, the Old Trafford. You can see what you can see. Crisp.
Thing is, you've been San Siro, right? You've been San Siro.
I've been San Siro.
But San Siro,
70k. That's what he said. It's over 70k. 74.
But like San Siro is like 80, right? And
80k. You can see. I can see clear.
I was not. Listen, we were in the gods when we played AC Milan in the Europa League, and honestly, we were walking for hours just to get to our seat. It was just. It was.
You did the spiral thing.
Yeah, to then find out there's a lift. I was like, oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, it's an absolute stinker. Baraka says, Oscar, come down to UGA for the game day experience. It's crazy lit. What does UGA stand for?
What's UGA?
University of Atlanta?
Bulldogs, baby. Bulldogs. College football.
Yeah,
college
Georgia,
football.
bruv.
Georgia. Okay. Yeah, man. Baraka, next time I'm in the States, man, I'm coming.
We need to do a top four states tour, man.
This is American sports. The culture is different. It's just like vibes, you know. Let's go tailgate.
The tailgate is vibes. Oh my god.
Where's the Premier League? The Premier League. Let me tell you, when I'm watching the Premier League, I'm about to have a heart attack. I'm away at Turf Moor, and I'm shitting bricks. Whereas American sports, I'm like, this is vibey. It's not the postseason yet. This game doesn't matter. Go Warriors. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just so it's way chiller. It's way chiller, and it's probably
every
better.
Weekend.
Me and Peter were in DC, and we went to see DC United play. And then our family were like, "Yo, we're gonna go to the tailgate first." So we went to this tailgate, and we're like, "This is almost better than the game." Like,
you went to an MLS tailgate, and it was better. That's insane. I'm sorry, that's jokes.
Listen, that's how you know.
No, the tailgate was lit.
The tailgate was amazing.
It was crazy.
I'm waiting for an NFL one. It is pure vibes, though.
Yeah,
Good time. The thing is, I don't know how you find it, but I always
said
find...
he thought you meant Uganda.
No, I'm not gonna lie, I did.
You're taking
Bro, when he said UGA, I was like, yo, Uganda.
The only reason I know it is because Barack is always tweeting about UGA, so I assumed it was.
He's from Georgia. Hey, speaking of great stadiums, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in ATL is a close second for best stadium in the States.
Fantastic.
I mean, I said to you top three. I literally said the top three: SoFi, Dallas, and Mercedes. Literally, those are your top three.
Brandon says, check out Northwestern University football practice facility. It's amazing.
Oh,
and that's not one of the biggest college football teams.
I can't wait. Listen, I'm knee deep in these facilities. What's it called? These videos on YouTube. I'm knee deep in those. So the more the merrier. Northwestern.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Northwestern. Write that down and check it out.
Speaking of Northwest, we need head Northwest.
I'm not done with Arsenal.
Yeah, we still haven't really checked on Arsenal yet. Guys, I just want to ask a quick question. When you get a yellow card, how soon are you expecting to get it next year?
Hey, Mike Oliver was on smoke, blood.
I couldn't, guys. I watched this game with my dad, yeah. And you know I love Martinelli. You know Martinelli's my guy, yeah. So I see him hit the player, yeah. And then my dad's like, "Ooh," and then he runs and takes out the second player. And I said, "Dad, that is so smart." He says, "Why?" I said, "Because he's only going to get one yellow card." And I was like, He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, he's just hit him twice. It's all happened in one move. He's going to get a yellow card, whereas he would have got two." The next thing I know, the ref pulls out the second yellow. I couldn't believe what I saw.
I'm gonna be honest. That's a great call. I'm sorry. It's a great call.
Lola says, "Let's talk on Oliver. Let's talk about it." That's great refereeing, Lola.
I went and I looked online to see if Oliver was bending the rules into some weird gray area. He's not. He's completely within his rights to give a player 2 yellow cards. Just because they happen in one flowing move, it's the right call, because just because the ref's playing advantage because it ended up being a good throw in does not mean Martinelli is protected from getting a second yellow if he commits a second yellow offense. There's absolutely nothing in the rule book that prevents 2 yellow cards in a short span like that. Nothing.
I don't think anyone can even argue that they're both yellows.
Yeah,
they're both clearly yellow card offenses, right?
But it was just weird.
They're both yellows.
Man just went papa and red, bro.
Now, to be honest, I only watched the highlights for the game. So Lolo's talking about Oliver's performance in general. I can't speak about that, but just on the incident, it's a great call. What can you say?
Yeah, she said they talk about it being 2 yellows because it's the letter of the law. How many tackles in that game or yellow cards did he not give? So I guess it's the consistency rather than the decision.
Oh, this is Mike Oliver for you, bro.
The only thing I would say though is this: I think Mike Oliver made what he was doing. He was being like a job smith, if that makes sense. It was like, this is my job. This is what I do. Yeah, to the T, right, of what he needs to do. And the thing is though, if something is a yellow card, right, the referee plays on if he thinks there's an advantage to the team that's been fouled. And I don't know about you guys, I didn't really think there was an advantage as such. It was just a break, right? But it was one of those where if Martinelli knows he's getting a yellow card in the first instance, he doesn't make that second one. And I think it's the idea that what you said, Oscar, Dad, he's not going to get a second yellow. There's no way.
I thought it was smart.
And I think that's what Martinelli probably thought as well. You know what? Fine, I'll take the hit. Let me just.
Guys, I was like, yo, 8D chess. I was like, yo, that's a big play.
I would have said the same thing, because Martinelli is banking on a gray area interpretation of the rule book. Sure, that's what he's doing. He's banking that Michael Oliver is not going to be literal letter of the law right now, but he was, and he's absolutely in his rights, especially if it's so egregious. You're literally pushing someone taking a throw, and then it's the most professional of professional fouls 3 seconds later. So what do you?
It was straight out of the Guardiola school book of just bring man down. You know what I mean? Just make a professional foul for you on the break. And the truth is, here's the truth of the matter: Arsenal need to get their discipline in order. They need to get it in order, because this is getting farcical. Guys,
so I said, then Ola went and said, I'm playing chess too.
The truth is, we need to get a grip, okay? Because what is it? 5 reds now in 2020, 2022, right? And Mr. Arteta has got 16 red cards. At the end of the day, we have a disciplinary issue. We do, whether we like it or not. I'm so sorry. We have 16 red cards.
And our coach is meant to be what? And our coach is meant to be what, Peter?
A disciplinarian. But he's from the school of He's from the school of Guardiola, who is, by the way, this is classic Barcelona Busquets in his day. This is classic Fernandinho in its day. This is classic wherever you want to take it. I think even on the All or Nothing documentary of Man City, I remember Guardiola saying, like, if we have to bring him down, bring him down. So was
it like that in Bayern? I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I mean, Bayern, he won the league in March. I doubt that was the case. By the way, the Bundesliga, this is an unpopular opinion, is a joke football league. But we'll move on from there anyway. Peter, is there a PGMA conspiracy? I think he means PGMO. No, there isn't. There isn't. We went unbeaten, by the way, with referees in England who were still not that great. David Ellery, Uriah Rennie, and all these people, right? We went unbeaten. At the end of the day, the destiny is in your hands as a team, as a player, and whatever else. I'm just shocked that we're not addressing this problem. And how many times have you noticed us playing with 10 men?
How many of the red cards have been controversial? Because I'm thinking about that one. The other day. I think that's a great call from Oliver. I'm thinking about Xhaka against Liverpool, and Partey against Liverpool. Those are clear double yellow and clear red card offenses.
Lola says Arsenal definitely have poor tackling discipline problem, but I need you, man, to look at the actual fouls Arsenal get red for. Lola, give us some examples, because she says here Xhaka has never been sent off for 2 yellows, by the way. It's always red. Sure, yeah, Lola, give us some examples of ones that were dubious, because all the ones I'm thinking of this season
are blatant.
Were fine.
They're blatant.
The one that angered me was Gabriel kicking the penalty spot, because I thought to myself, you're just being anal. Did you catch my drift? Yeah, the Gabriel one, when he brings a man down on the halfway line, a yellow card. Okay, fair enough, I understand it. But the penalty one, I thought, come on. I've seen, Zaha missed a penalty the other day, right? From like a terrible penalty spot against Norwich City, right? And the real question that has to be asked is, what the hell is the pitch not it's not in good top condition there.
Someone scuffed it.
Someone's blatantly scuffed it, right? And I'm not saying those are not yellow cards in my opinion.
As I told you on that day, he was bait, Brad.
Yeah, he was
bait. Don't be bait about it. Don't be bait, man.
Lola says, I remember Eddie got a red card, a VAR red card for a tackle, and the same tackle happened in more than one game, and those reds were not given. Was that the Burnley game?
It was no. It was I think it was Leicester. He goes in straight into someone's shin. Literally, he's come off the bench and he's been sent off.
2 seconds on and off.
Literally, I think it was Leicester.
The collection of players that are getting reds is so crazy. Like, talking about Eddie Nketiah, yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's just random. Martinelli, that's random. Xhaka, you would expect. Partey, you would expect, because they're expected to put feet in as midfielders. But these are random players to get reds.
Like, I can't lie. Yeah. Gabby just moved mad.
SW6 agrees with you, man. He says, you got to ask why Gabriel's kicking it so obviously. But I mean, we can speak about this all day. But
the other issue. Sorry, just lastly, what I'm noticing is we're getting quick. Obviously, Martinelli's case, he didn't even know he had a first yellow. But when we get one yellow, the second one is at a lightning bolt pace. When Xhaka got booked, I just sat there like, for flip's sake, come on now. And Partey got booked. And even Gabriel got booked at Wolves, right? So we're picking up yellow cards by the dozens as well, by the way. And it's just a bit like, Arteta, get these, grab them by the neck, hold them in the dressing room, and to just stop messing about.
Yeah,
they're going to cost us points.
When Partey got sent off against Liverpool, he'd been on the pitch for 10 minutes. He was a sub, right? He got sent off in the space of 15 minutes, right? He was a sub. Yeah, he was subbed on. Because he was coming back from AFCON. He was like a 75th minute sub, and he got 2 yellows in 15 minutes.
Evans, he landed 2 hours before he got on.
That's just shocking. Why is he playing?
Why is he playing?
Dude.
Lola says,
by the way, we got rid of 3. How many midfielders did we get rid of in January?
Yeah,
we
it's
need
insane.
them.
The comments are going to lead us back to where I want to go. Lola says, I've seen Oba being pulled back from a run and goal and got centre back got a yellow, but then I'm sure Gabby did the same thing and got a red. But 100%, Arteta needs to get this team to be better at the dark arts. They're currently not good at it. However, switching back to the football, SW6 says, big win against Wolves, though.
But my takeaway is we're not getting top 4 unless our striker is striking, bro.
And Lola tells us that Lakabuti is us.
We're not doing it, bro.
His miss,
where are our goals gonna come from?
I wanted to throw something at the screen because when he missed that chance 1-on-1, I mean, and the thing is, nobody had any money on him scoring. Nobody had any money on him scoring.
You didn't believe it, did you?
No.
Why did you not throw the brick? Because even I was annoyed.
Because you know what? Do you know why I didn't throw the brick, Robin? The honest truth is because at the end of the day, Arsenal have a plan. They want to get a striker in the summer. They were trying to get him in January. It didn't work out, and they didn't gamble. Now, what Liverpool did with Van Dijk when they tried to get him in the summer, they said, listen, we're not going to go for another defender. This is the man we want. We're going to go for him in 6 months' time. And then they went and got him, and the rest is history. At the end of the day, if Arsenal have got a plan in terms of what kind of players they want to recruit, I'm happy to wait and see that plan come to fruition. I don't want them panic buying players. I don't want them doing anything ridiculously stupid. Because, by the way, we are known for panic buys. Now, Adrian, you need to slow your roll.
Adrian believes in Arteta, guys. Adrian believes, man.
He does. He's a big Arteta guy.
He's an Arsenal fan.
It's his team in London, isn't it? It's his team in
London. I like Arteta too, for the record.
You do, yeah?
Anything. I listen.
What is it? What is it you like?
Maybe it's a Liverpool thing. You and Adrian are just...
No, I'm not trolling. I actually do like him. I think, although Arsenal got smoked at Anfield again, the difference in when Arteta took over versus the difference when they came to Anfield this season, I'd say it's substantial. Like, Arsenal physically matched us for 45 minutes, and it was difficult to play against them. As difficult a 45 minutes as we've had. So I on the pitch, I see the improvements, and I just think when I look at Arsenal's squad, it's so haphazard. It's the players signed by 3 different sporting directors in 4 years. There's 3 different managers, recruitment still in that squad. I think if you stick with Arteta long enough and let him have the first and final say on everything transfer-wise, inevitably you will get better and more consistent. It's just kind of how it works.
You know what? I feel that way about, like when I look at United and Tottenham, I feel like, do you know what? They need to go through the same surgery that we're going through. At the end of the day, we're going through surgery, and there's going to be like moments where we're going to go up, we're going to go down. If Arsenal don't make the top 4, I'm not mad. I know the gap is wide open, and I know like United are doing everything they can to throw it away. Tottenham Hotspur, again, the same. And I don't think Wolves or West Ham are good enough to make the top 4. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? We're in our own lane, but everybody's trying to drag us into everybody else's lane. And I just feel like, look, let's just roll. Like I told people at the start of the season, get your seatbelt on. We're in for a ride. So, and to go between now and the end of the season with the squad that we have is madness to me to a degree. And especially the strikers that we're talking about here, the strikers we've got. I mean, my goodness. Emil Smith-Rowe's our top goal scorer this season. I don't know how many 90 minutes he's done this season at all. So we're going to need people like the midfielders, the wingers. They're going to have to be scoring goals for fun because Lacazette and Nketiah, they will not get 10 goals between now and the end of the season.
People forget how difficult it is to get into the top 4 in this league. And guess what? It's only going in that direction. It's only getting harder. Newcastle, West Ham emerging as a force to be reckoned with. Like, it's only getting more difficult. But, I'm sure we'll get to people's chances on the top 4 in a second. But I just want to say it's hard. People forget that. It's difficult.
Yo, someone's microphone is giving
mad.
Who's business.
Hey,
that's not me. I'm on mute, bro.
It's gone now. It's gone now. I don't know who it was, but it's gone. Lola says Eddie still hasn't gotten a Prem goal. Laka still has less goals than Aubameyang. It's fine to wait for the striker you want when your options are this shocking.
Look.
Hold up here. Lola in the summer was turning her nose up at Tammy Abraham. She's now dying for a striker. I can't help but laugh.
He's good, right? I don't get it. He's good. He's good.
On my life, I'll be shocked if Laka scores more than 3 goals this season. He has handsome tax, but even then, that can't help him. Be gone.
I was gonna get into that. Is he handsome? I mean, I thought
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think he's got the.
Okay. Gabriel is level on goals with Laka. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Like it's gonna. I kid you not. For us to make the top 4, even at this stage, even with what's going on, we need a miracle. We need a miracle. David, what's your thoughts on the Arsenal, the Wolves game? We've got Brentford on the weekend and Wolves next Thursday. So, what are your thoughts?
I don't know, bruv. It's prayer and hope, innit? Hit and hope that we get enough goals. We've still got to play Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham. Oof. I don't know, mate.
Those are our games in hand. That's the thing. When we talk about games in hand, it's Liverpool away at Stamford Bridge and away at Tottenham. Not good. Not good.
And then
I didn't say that twice. We've not played you yet.
No, we played
we still got Man United. For flip.
No,
I said games in hand. I said our games in hand.
Okay. I think I was like, I'm sure you've not played most of the.
By the way, Robin, we will dispatch you at the Emirates this season. Let's make no mistake about it. When you come over to North London, they'll be sweating bricks. Ronaldo.
This is why Peter, you get two gas, bro. People love ruining. They love ruining our season, bro.
I'll see David. I'll see you. When do we play Man United? I think in April. In May. I'll see you in May. Don't worry,
Peter.
Don't worry. I'll see you in May.
You have not learned. I learned my lesson, bro. Amazon Prime, all or nothing is coming. It's primed for Arsenal for me to get let down.
Oh, jeez, I forgot about that. Oh, wow.
Look at everything that's happened.
David, Arsenal are not losing. David, Arsenal are not losing to Manchester United at home this season. Not this Manchester United.
All right.
They're not.
All right.
I wouldn't be so confident.
Lola, you're my witness. I've warned him.
When's the last time Man United beat us in the league at home?
I don't want to see him huffing and puffing.
Lola says, PR, you love making these statements. Can you leave it, please?
You guys are all my witnesses. I've tried to warn him.
Okay. I've watched Manchester United draw with Southampton, draw with Burnley, which, by the way, I predicted both times. We have it on record. We have it on wax. I predicted 2 draws for Man United. The truth of the matter is this, though. Yeah, anything can happen. It is football. I agree. But listen, I'm going to stick my neck on the line. I'm going to tell you guys this is how confident I feel against playing against that lot anyway. But I didn't say we're going to make top 4. I'm just saying. Anyway, anything else on Arsenal, David, before we move on?
I literally said anything else on Arsenal.
Kroenke is not going to invest in this team. He spent too much money in LA. He spent almost £1 billion paying off St. Louis because they sued him for thing. No money's coming anytime soon.
David, we're going to spend the bag in the summer. Remember, I told you.
Okay.
Where are we? February 14th, Valentine's Day, yeah? Mark it. We're going to spend the bag in the summer. You watch.
Where do we want to go next?
Can we go to Old Trafford since we were talking about Manchester United?
I don't have an issue with that.
Hey,
another draw.
Okay. Talk to me. Whoa.
Can I ask Robin a question or make a statement at least?
Whoa.
Robin, on this podcast, I've noticed something. I did a bit of research in my mind about the stuff that's happening in the past year. I've noticed, when it comes to other teams, Robin has a lot of vim, a lot of energy, and his points are straightforward. Yeah,
cool. He told
us Newcastle United are not staying in this league this season. He told us that, right? No one asked. He just gave us that information. Okay. I'm still going. Let me finish. I'll allow you to respond. I promise. He told us Chelsea are losing the Club World Cup. No one asked him. He just volunteered that information. Yeah. He told us that. He put players on watch. Some of them have been right. Some of them have been wrong. You know, the Jack Grealish one, I thought it was a bit contentious, but you're very forthcoming with your opinions on other teams. However, when it comes to the mighty Manchester United, if I ask you, are they making top 4? You're stuttering. You're sitting on the fence and you can't make a decision. I need you to tell me.
Grace. I've said it twice now.
Man. Was it by God's grace
now?
It was Newcastle. It wasn't God's grace.
This guy, Peter, you've asked me 2 weeks now. Have I not said by God's grace?
Robin, listen to what
Robin,
Oscar just said to you. Listen to what Oscar just said to you.
I'm going to respond to Oscar.
And also, by the way,
in terms of Newcastle, no, wait, Peter. In terms of Newcastle,
you were talking to me. What's the matter with this guy?
Put me on the big screen for Newcastle.
You want big screen? We're going to talk about Newcastle later. Do you want to talk about? You want to dive into it now?
No, because you responded. So I say I might as well talk about it now.
Okay, fair enough.
Cool.
That's what you want.
Cool. In terms of Newcastle, I tweeted I may have to concede. What do you call it? Regarding them going down this season. Now, the top four, whoever was on the top four count said with the asterisk, an apology. I like it because there's a
needs an apology, bro.
So, ladies and gentlemen, me, Robin, Manchester United fan, is here to apologize.
And he's wearing PSG.
Absolutely nobody. I'm not apologizing to anyone today. Are you crazy? Let's not sit here like we all thought suddenly because they spent money that they're now going to stay up, which they are. They spent the money at the very end that did. However, when I kept saying Newcastle were going down, look at the drop that they were given left, right, and centre. Even Peter conceded towards the end before they spent the money because they weren't spending the money. Let's not sit here and say like I was speaking something that was trash against Newcastle. I wasn't. I was speaking the truth. They were garbage. They spent money. They spent money, and now they're better than Norwich. They're better than Watford, and they're better than Burnley. Fair enough. I concede that they're not going to say it. Am I going to apologize for what I said?
Yes, you have to.
No.
I told you
I'm
that.
not doing that. I ain't apologizing to nobody. I ain't apologizing to that. And that is that on Newcastle.
You need to help.
This is fast.
Can I just go back to the beginning? Because my point was not about Newcastle or the individual. You can say Newcastle are going to go down. I ain't got an issue with you saying
he's wrong.
My point is, but we all be wrong, David. We all get things wrong on this podcast.
Yeah, and I apologize. We all come on the thing and apologize.
My point was the energy that you have in making predictions for all these other clubs. I would love for you to make a prediction about your club. When Abdi is coming on here, where is Abdi? I need Abdi here now. When Abdi is in the comments, when Abdi's in the comments saying,
I don't back Abdi.
Man United are going to win this game. Man United are going to win this game. We've got Southampton, Burnley, and Middlesbrough. We're going to win all three. You refuse to make a statement. But when it comes to Newcastle or Chelsea, you're free with the statements about this team's going to lose, that team's going to lose. I just want to know your stance. Are Manchester United making top four this season? Yes or no? I don't want a fence. I don't want a God. I don't want a scripture. I don't want.
You don't want a God or a scripture.
As in from you right now. From you right now. That's what I need.
You said you don't want a God.
Don't give me a proverb. Don't give me. Don't give me none of that. I want to know: are Manchester United making top four? Yes or no?
Hey, he's got splinters on his bum. I'm telling you guys, he's got.
No, I'm looking at the table. I'm just looking at the table. Who's there? Who's got one? You know what? It is still by God's grace, and I'll stick by that. However, they won't make it unless they do a miracle.
Saying they won't make it.
They won't make it unless they do absolutely.
Who's making it, Robin? In your opinion,
none of you deserve to make it. That's my actual point.
That's not the question. By the way, whoever finishes top four deserves to be there. Let's not do this. 38 games. If you finish fourth, you deserve to be there. Yeah. However, who is making it in your opinion?
I think we are. Out of all of you.
Wait a minute. What?
You just said.
He's confused.
But like I said,
what I mean. When it comes to Man United, Robin's head is scattered.
Robin Boris Johnson. That's what he is.
Oscar, now listen to what I said.
Scattered when it comes to Man United.
Unless there's no miracle, we're not making top four. I'm a man who believes in miracles. So that is my stance there.
Robin, listen, this is a guy. No, Oscar, hold on. This is a guy. Yeah, whenever a madness happens, he goes missing, bro. You're not getting a straight statement.
Wearing different kits.
No,
wearing
guys,
different kits and that.
He told us in November Newcastle were going down. Yeah, he told us last week Chelsea were losing the Club World Cup final. But when I ask you about Man United, I never get a straight answer.
You know what's crazy, Oscar, is you asked for a yes or no, and we got the longest maybe I've ever heard.
God's grace was still involved.
The longest maybe. Yeah, SW6 said it.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a politician's answer right there.
Did you have a party? Yes or no?
Did I have a party?
It was funny.
I wish I had a party.
Robin said by a miracle they will make the top 4. And then when I asked who would then make the top 4 in that case, you said none of us deserve it. Out of us, it's Manchester United. What's going on here?
That's because, you know why, Peter? Because I looked at who was in the top 4 and I was like, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. You're not make it. I just don't know. If the answer is, I don't know who's going to make the top 4.
Oh, dear.
That is the truth. And I can't sit here and say Arsenal's going to make the top 4. I don't think they will. I don't think Tottenham's going to make the top 4. Yeah. I don't think West Ham's going to make 4. I honestly do not know.
Okay. Well, let's get back to the football because it's clear.
Anyways, I can talk about Man United because I've been inflating this team.
Yes,
I've been inflating this team for weeks now.
Draw, weekend draw. Why are you drawing games?
If you guys saw the group chat last week, you remember when I said I need to find ways of getting rid of Mike Dean? That guy annoyed me.
The referee.
The refereeing. You know when I sat there, I said we should be 3-0 up. And I tweeted it. I said, no, we should be 3-0 up here. And it's going to be 1-1 and it's going to cost us. Lo and behold, Harold Maguire has costed us that 3 games. Now, I sat there and I was like, you know what? I'm really annoyed with you, Maguire, but we're not the reason that we draw the game. Because let's be honest. No, I'm saying the referee for that specific game is reason. It was a perfectly fine header from Varane. Pogba's goal went in, fair enough. And excuse me, since when does an own goal become an offside? Since when does that happen? A clear own goal has become an offside. An own goal? It was an own goal. It was a clear own goal. Yet it was chalked out because someone else was offside when they weren't. So I'm thinking we should be 3-0 right now. And knowing us, and I said at the beginning, if you start Harry Maguire, you start 1-0 down. Because lo and behold, not only in the Burnley game, he got twisted up throughout the whole of Southampton game. It cost us so many points.
Don't you just have to be affecting the play in some way, shape, or form to be considered offsides? Isn't that the only barometer for offsides? Right.
So you could be offside. It depends on what the situation is, really.
Well, yeah, it's all situational. But yeah. if he's affecting the play, then it's offsides. It doesn't matter if it's an own goal.
No, but he wasn't. That's the key thing. For the own goal side, that was just completely the own player. I can't remember the Burnley player kicked into his own net, and we were flagged offside, even though no one else was near him and no one touched the ball.
Listen, I'm Maguire real quick. I do have to say, people love to say that like the Neymar transfer has like completely screwed the market and inflated everything. Maguire,
it's a big L.
Harry Maguire for 80 million British pounds has completely messed up the British centre back game. Like Tyrone Mings is a $40 million centre back in this market that Harry Maguire has created. Like that's insane. Joe Gomez apparently wants to leave Liverpool this summer. Joe Gomez, a guy who hasn't really played for Liverpool at all this season, coming off one of the worst injuries that the Liverpool medical department has ever seen. I'm not coming to the table for less than 50 million because of the Harry Maguire transfer. Like, I'm sorry. Like, look at how much Ben White went for.
Evans, you know what?
And Evan, I agree with you. I agree with you. I said, I literally sat there on Saturday. I said, you know what? We have to do an Arsenal and just cut our losses. Just cut it. Because it's just an L. It is a major L. Major L. There's nothing you can do and think that we've spent 80 million on probably one of the worst defenders we've ever seen. And not alone worst defenders. He is our captain. He will go down in the history book as the captain of Manchester United, whether we like it or not. And that is one of the biggest L's this club has ever taken. What do we do about it? We just have to cut our losses, take the L, and move on. There's nothing else we can do there.
Robin, your football club is pathetic. It's as simple as
Pathetic.
that. It's a stupid, pathetic club.
Absolutely pathetic.
And Evan, by the way, Manchester United always do this. In transfers, they're the ones who kick the market off and everybody's getting bumped. Everyone gets bumped for players. Their right back cost 50 million. Their left back cost 30 million. The centre half you're talking about cost 85 million quid. Paul Pogba, who they had in their academy, who they let go for free, bought for 90 million quid, and guess what? He's going for free yet again. Okay, I don't want to hear talk about Neymar transfer because I look at Man United every single time and I say, you absolute farce. You lot always keep bumping these stupid transfer windows because as soon as Man United spend dumb on a player, like you said, Tyrone Mings. First of all, where does Villa have 40 million to waste on Tyrone Mings? That's the first question. You know, honestly,
I just don't get it because when United got Maguire, I got cooked on Twitter for saying Joe Gomez and Joel Matip were both significantly better than Harry Maguire. I got cooked for saying that. Now it's common knowledge. Now it's like the most obvious, blatant statement you could make. And I'm sorry, this is the peril of buying center backs from further down the table. Like Harry Maguire pinged a few passes, pinged a few 50-yarders for Leicester, headed the ball out 12 times a game, and he's an 80 million pound player. Come on.
The day Manchester United signed him, I was on here on Top 4 podcast rinsing it.
Yeah, you
rinsing it. Day one. Because I said, what on earth? Because he came from Hull and Leicester, we've got another Andy Robertson on our hands. No. Andy Robertson, first of all, cost 7 million quid to Liverpool.
He's free.
Was he free?
Here's what the crazy thing about Andy Robertson. 2 days after we bought Andy Robertson for $7.5 million, we sent Kevin Stewart to Hull in the other direction for $7 million. Who's Kevin Stewart? I don't know. I forget. I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember what his face looks like. But he was basically free. So.
Yeah. Day one. I remember because even people like Ernest was trying to say, you know what? Like, let's see in it. Let's see. He's not bad. He's not a bad defender. Let's have a look. He is utter garbage. He was not good enough. He was not good enough. That's the thing, innit? Like in my head, when I look at Oscar, you see me, yeah? I'm very harsh when it comes to the Chelseas, the Man Uniteds, and whoever else of this world. Liverpool and City always do a good job, so I have nothing really bad to say about them. But when I look at Chelsea, Chelsea and Manchester United, I look in disgust because I'm like, hang on a minute, you guys are like the real deal. You're supposed to be, but you're never behaving like it, right? And Man United are now going 5 years. They were talking about 5 years without a trophy. Never mind the league. Forget about the league situation because next year is 10 years. Next year is 10 years that they haven't won the Premier League title. I honestly, but the thing is, we can't keep singing and dancing about how Paul Maguire is. Who keeps picking him? Why do they keep picking him? Fair enough, you bought him, and then somebody walks in and it's like, look, it weren't me that bought that player. Why are you picking him? Why is he your captain?
Why we couldn't pick him now is because our defenders aren't available.
Listen, go to Carrington. You lot big up Carrington so much. Go bring another centre half from there.
When was the last time I talked about defenders from Carrington?
Let me just say,
players talk about how their youth system and whatever else is the best. They got the most players playing in the Premier. Damn, go bring it. Go bring me the centre half. Bring him over.
Anyways,
given the quality of centre back that's currently at Manchester United, how Axel Tuanzebe just spends time out on loan when they'd be better off just trying to develop him than trying to make Harry Maguire work. It's gotten to that point. That was a crazy thing to say a few years ago.
I will be very annoyed if he starts tomorrow because I've given a benefit of the doubt that
he likes to play again.
Lindelof and Bailey aren't there. Lindelof just came back and now Bailey's back. I said, listen, he needs to not be back on the pitch. It is fairly simple. But yeah, Peter, I can tell you the frustration.
Your freelancer manager. What about him then? Because he's not gonna listen to what you're saying. Even though every man and his dog knows that he shouldn't be in the starting 11, but he's gonna pick him.
And it's one of the very. Do you know what though? With him, I don't get it because he does some things. I'm like, you know what? I back it, and then he does things. I'm just like, why? So. It's just like why it's annoying things, annoying little things. But Manchester United is a mess.
Do you know what?
It is a mess, and that's when you guys keep asking me how I feel about can make top 4. I look at it and I'm like, we can, but will we? I can't confidently say yes, we're gonna make top 4, but I can't say that we're out of the running. So that's why I can't give you like a full-on answer just yet. It's literally
even if you say another club, even if you say another club, it doesn't mean that you're out of the running. But the thing is, though, when Man United recruited Ralph Rangnick, what did you recruit? What you're getting is exactly what it says on the tin.
You recruited someone. Here's the thing: as soon as Oli got fired, the aim was to control, damage, limitation. That was the overall aim, because it was already a mess, and trying to control that mess all the way until the end of the season was not going to be hard. It wasn't going to be hard. It was going to be hard for any manager because we are an absolute mess. There's so much dross and so much drama that's going around the club that to try and damage limitate that, it's going to be a hard job. And I won't say that he hasn't done anything. Well, he has done something. There is some sort of things happening, but it's too late. If that makes sense, it's way too late.
It's the wrong appointment, Robin. He's the wrong man. Why can't we just say this as it is? Why are we? This is the thing I can't stand about teams like Manchester United, because it's all slow and dull, and it's just we're going around in circles, and we realize, by the way, this is your third interim manager since Sir Alex. It's your third interim manager. Ralph Rangnick is not the right appointment. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was not the right appointment. And guess what? We are going to watch and see why he's not the right appointment. Why can't they get this right? Why can't they actually use their heads?
I think I have an answer. To be fair, I think what we're seeing. I think what we're seeing is the perils of letting a manager be your be all and end all at your football club. Like Wenger and Sir Alex managed everything: transfers, recruitment, training, team selections. They were the biggest and one of the only voices in the room. And great, if you have someone who's has that magnetic force to them and they can do that, fair enough, let them do it. But this is the peril of not having any type of checks and balances. Like, for example, Klopp had to be talked into signing Mo Salah. Like there's that type of there's a healthy balance you can have at a club where your sporting director is just as important as the manager. So I think when someone like Wenger or Sir Alex leaves, you're left with this gigantic chasm because they were running everything. Forget that they were really good at their jobs. They were in charge of so many things that like people like I think of Liverpool as a bunch of cogs working in this, like pulling in the same direction. When I think of like Sir Alex and Wenger at Arsenal, I think of one giant gear spinning the entire thing. You know what I mean? It's so hard because United and Arsenal are having to rebuild their recruitment. They're having to rebuild everything from the ground up, and so that's the peril of having someone that big. And I just don't think you. I think United, to be honest, I think they're a franchise. They're not really a football club. But they're kind of just like a brand, you know what I mean? Like it's very commercial, and that's I think that's what Sir Alex was saying towards the end. Like he got the feeling that the Glazers' leadership was headed that way. So it's tough.
And the thing is, right? Like you're spot on with everything you've said there. What I can't understand is why is it all of us in this room can select better managers? Each of Manchester United's appointments, really and truly, you could turn around and say, okay, we could have done better with this guy. We could have done better with that guy. Like every time they recruited a new manager, somebody else that was available was better at that time. And actually, I commended the Jose appointment because I thought they finally got it together. They got their heads screwed on. They've got somebody who's a serial winner. And the thing with Mourinho, I always argue is that one has to bow. Either he bows to the club or you bow to him. And if he doesn't do that, then you're going to end up in cahoots like the way they did. And at the end of the day, people like Mourinho will look, but we look back at his time, for example, finishing second, and you're just like, okay, was he right all along? And that shouldn't be the question we should be asking. We shouldn't be here.
How United didn't throw the bag at Poch, I have no idea. For me,
by the way, he's not good enough, Evan. Don't worry, he'll be there in the summer. He's not good enough.
Well, maybe there was a time where he was good enough and he was in his groove, in his bag as a manager.
Never in Peter's mind, though. Peter never
rated him.
I treat Poch the way I treat Brendan Rodgers, for example, in the sense that when they're at the clubs that are a bit lower, they do well to overachieve with those kind of teams. You then put them in the deep end, they don't swim. They don't swim at all. I mean, Poch lost the French league title. We cannot let this go. He lost the French league title to Lille last season. He came in November, Oscar.
I think the PSG job, to be fair, I think that's a bit of a poison chalice. I mean, to be fair, Tuchel flopped by their standards there too. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I mean, Tuchel firsthand, the sporting director, it's toxic. The players run the club. It's cliquey. These are things that are like widely accepted as fact. So that job's a poison chalice. It's like the Harlem Globetrotters. You know what I mean? It's not a real team. There's nothing. It's not a team going on over there. You know what I mean? It's. But then I rate Poch, but I think Poch just represents one of those options, like you said, Peter. Of everyone can see that there was better options.
What makes Poch? With Manchester, PSG is a poison chalice. I'm sorry, Man United are rotting in that direction. So surely, it might not even be Poch's fault, in all honesty. But if he goes to Manchester United, look at what he's had to deal, what he's going to have to deal with.
No, I think the time and place for that move to happen has come and gone by 3 or 4 years. Don't get me wrong. It would be an outdated move at this point, because you could argue Poch has lost his groove and United have descended further into whatever the hell they are. So, yeah, I'm saying that at the time, Poch would have been better than Ole. Poch would have been better than Mourinho. You know what I mean? I don't know. Hindsight 2020 and all that.
Abdi says, "Oi, keep hopscotch Poch away from my club. Exotic Brendan Rodgers. If he comes, I'm done with this club."
Oh, he would be the best manager you've had since Ferguson. Behave. I'm a Poch advocate. I don't care.
Really?
I'm a big Poch advocate.
Do you know what's funny? I turned into a Mourinho advocate, and I think he's the best manager they've had since Fergie, and he's got the trophies he's got a couple trophies.
He's definitely the highest. He's the biggest name that they've had in there for sure.
They got a European trophy and a League Cup.
Even at the time, you could say Mourinho's a bit of the shelf life on Mourinho had expired a bit at that point. You know what I mean? There was that argument at the time. But
do you know what? I would have agreed with you. It's just for me, when he came back to Chelsea the second time, I thought, okay, this is here's the beginning of the end. And he won the league the second season. I said, nah, hang on. I can't, but I had to put some respect on his name. I just
similar to what you said about you give him the money, he knows what he wants and he can go and get it. But he did want Harry Maguire for Manchester United, so there's this and that. We don't know.
Wait there. Before you carry on there, Oscar, wait there. Now, listen, Maguire and John Terry can never be compared. Never at all. The thing with Maguire, though,
I didn't compare them.
No. I'm doing it. As in, the thing is, when Mourinho had like slow defenders, for example, defenders that didn't have pace necessarily, and we see, Maguire turns like an 18-wheeler, right? The difference is, like, for example, somebody like John Terry could tackle for his country. You know what I'm saying? He was one of the best defenders, if not the best, the Premier League has ever seen. And I think with the likes of Maguire, remember what he had before Maguire, though? Remember what Manchester United centre-halves were? One always had a broken arm. Marcus Rojo, a ravaged Marcus Rojo, and a guy who couldn't stop having arm injuries. How many casts did Eric Bailly have on his hand? God knows what he was getting.
No, remember, it was Smalling.
Mike Smalling.
Mike Smalling.
Oh dear. But yeah, anyway.
He has them again anyway.
Still their best manager since Fergie for me is Mourinho.
Abdi says the best manager is LVG. He doesn't care what anyone says. If he'd stayed for another 4 years, he might have done something. LVG had Paddy McNair, Tyler Blackett in them, man. He won an FA Cup, got us top 4. The only problem was Tyler football. Yeah, but he also had Van Persie, Rooney, Falcao, Di Maria. And it wasn't.
I respected
like he was front loaded. He was definitely front loaded.
Three of those 4 players were finished at the time. To be fair, Rooney.
Yeah,
that's
a expired Rooney. I mean, for Sir Alex's biggest.
Evan, let me cook. Let me.
Sorry.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, you're right.
I think one of Ferguson's biggest accomplishments as manager is winning the league by like 8 or 9 points in 2012, 2013, and then within 6 months, that squad looked washed. Within 6 months, like that's crazy. Like
we were arguing. I think I was saying it to Ernest. Like, how have Man United won the league in 2013? I was like, how have they won it this year?
I will never forget that season.
That season was a joke.
We were livid because we were like, this team is just not good. It's just not a good team.
They sucked.
And was it 81? Was it 81 points? Was it 81 points? 81 points, guys. Come on.
And they dominated the league.
Yeah, that Ferguson's just insane. But
there's I don't want to neglect the comments because they're talking about a couple of players. before there was a lot of talk about a certain man who's moved on loan to Everton, Donny van de Beek. They're talking about why Ralph never really took to him. Right now, SW6 is talking about Rashford slander. Lola said Rashford has been shameful. I watching the Manchester United versus Southampton game, I put in the group chat, guys, Marcus Rashford, we need to talk because he had a horrible game and it feels like he hasn't played well all season. His decision making is atrocious. He gets into positions where he has the opportunity to decide something, to take the game in his direction, and he goes for the same little punt every single time, like the knuckleball cross in towards Ronaldo.
Knuckleball.
He's not making the right choices, and he's not tracking back either.
Hey, Oscar.
It's scary.
Can I plug something?
It's scary.
Now, just because Rashford's been brought up, can I plug something very quickly?
Go on, then.
Tomorrow night on the Top 4 podcast, we've got the Premier League stats. There's something interesting on Marcus Rashford. That's all I will say.
Okay. What time?
6
is that
p.m.
dropping?
Let's do 6 p.m. What time do you make it drop? What time do you want it to drop? It's ready.
You might want to drop it at 10 because annoyingly we're actually playing tomorrow.
Oh yeah, drop it at 5 p.m. if it's already
5 p.m. Yeah, it's loading into the
drop it at
into the database as we talk.
Okay, so yeah, new content for you guys tomorrow.
5 p.m. tomorrow.
But yeah, the Marcus Rashford thing, it's getting to the
David.
point.
Yo.
Oh, he's got his headphones off, so he can't hear us.
David is the sound.
Mute
He's the sound technician of this podcast. And he doesn't have a clue what's going on sound-wise.
Sound.
Lola, he unmuted himself to make noise. Why did he? Lola.
We can hear you, bro.
Who says what?
I know, but whatever you're doing is making
you're
noise.
rubbing your mic.
So I had to
picking everything up.
My headphones died, cuz.
Sorry, bro. Lola says, see R. Kelly out here crying on the pitch as if he's starving. The brother's missing chances and blaming everyone. I don't know about all that. I don't know.
Oscar, question. Everybody. In fact, a question for everybody here
gosh.
and in the comments and in the comments section.
Outrageous. Yeah.
Anyway, are you surprised that Manchester United have the highest XG this season in the league?
Peter, I preached it last week. Put the
No.
ball in the net. We
No.
created chances left, right, and centre.
How
Why
different would we be
do not?
looking at United this season?
Why are you
How
not
different would we be
surprised?
looking at
I'm
it in this
surprised.
situation? Because I'm flabbergasted. if I'm honest.
I to be honest, it doesn't change my opinion of them. They were a top heavy team at the start of the season. How they've justified going for Ronaldo and paying him that when they so clearly needed a holding midfielder is just insane to me. That's just absolutely insane. I mean, the amount of time
we could be here all day.
The amount of times Man City have pump faked United into making stupid purchases is truly impressive.
It's fantastic.
It's like Man City are like, oh, we're going for Fred. Oh, we're not. And United swooped in. Oh, we're going for Maguire. Oh, no, we're not. I swear Man City do this intentionally. I swear they're pump faking United into making stupid purchases. Yeah. But
even the Ronaldo one, isn't it? That was
the Ronaldo
one
one is the ultimate example of that, because honestly, United would have been better off caving to whatever West Ham wanted for Declan Rice. They would have been much better off. They can afford it. They can afford it.
I think they'll go for him in the summer. I think they'll just look at the name and just go for it.
I don't think that's happening personally. I think West Ham are just going to price out everyone.
I think Declan Rice wants
No,
Chelsea.
here's the thing: Manchester United will pay over the odds and again ruin the transfer market. I guarantee you that.
Rice wants Chelsea. I think
he prefers Chelsea.
He's dying for Chelsea.
I think Chelsea want Rice as well. To be honest,
Yeah, they do.
I think Chelsea want Rice.
But
more
I think
than
West Ham's the issue. I think West Ham's the issue that transfer.
No.
But I know. But
No.
Chelsea and Manchester United, if they want to get Rice, he's there. Trust me. West Ham have nothing to say on this.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Chelsea will pay.
He's not signing a new deal at West Ham. They need to get rid of him this summer to get the most money for him.
It's going to be an auction. There's
I'll
going to be an
also
auction.
say this though. I'll also say this as well. In terms of most XG, guess who's made the most saves in the league this season?
David De Gea.
David De Gea. So this is a real weird Manchester United side, because on one hand you could think, well, they could have 100 goals by now. I mean, their first half FC,
Peter.
we all know this. But then also they could concede 100 goals right now.
Peter,
No,
you're saying the same things I've said for the last week. Put the ball in the net and stop playing the bloody captain.
By the way,
fairly simple.
Whilst we're on the topic of Rice, like you know how Harry Kane did that interview and everybody went really, really mad. C1 says Rice is doing up prime Nicki Minaj for Chelsea. He did his interview with Harry.
Oh, Gary Neville.
With Gary Neville.
Yeah.
Harry Neville. How funny is that?
But
yeah,
I love the overlap. By the way,
watched it.
Fantastic.
You watched it. I didn't watch the full thing. I watched the 21 questions thing.
Oh, it's fantastic.
He blatantly is just like, look, I grew up supporting Chelsea. I loved it. My family's Chelsea. Like everyone's Chelsea. He said, I'm a Chelsea fan. My idol is John Terry. Like he's coming to Chelsea, man.
I mean, well, you know, look, we can't because he got a lot of stick for it. And I thought, well, hang on a minute. We like footballers being honest and open and saying what they thought. He used to say he wanted the 26 on his shirt and then went for the 41 and stuff. You know, like he's just living dreams that us man would live if we were playing football. If I was, Liverpool's goalkeeper, right? I'll let them know. Oh, by the way, I'm a diehard Arsenal fan and grew up that way. Paul Merson's a Chelsea fan. And he's been a Chelsea fan his whole life, but nobody. He still is now. Isn't that weird? Oh, he is. He's a season ticket holder at Chelsea. Yeah, but yeah, he's but everybody still respects and loves him because when he played for his club, he bled for that club, regardless who they were. You understand? And Declan Rice is doing exactly that, and he's at a pivotal moment in his career where the next move. This is the big move for him. So he could either sign the thing at West Ham. But then he's looking at if Chelsea ever knock my door, my God, just don't even tell me how much the money is. I'll just sign. Just tell me where to sign.
I think the appeal of Rice for Chelsea is I think Chelsea are sort of weighing up the numbers, and there's going to be there's going to be an auction for Rice, but there's also going to be an auction for Tchouaméni, and I think they're saying I think the auction for Tchouaméni could easily get up into Rice money that we would have to pay. So let's get the dude who's an established Premier League player. There wouldn't be any sort of like cultural like integration that would have to happen. Like I think Rice is actually a more appealing option for Chelsea than Tchouaméni.
He was from your academy, Oscar, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was an academy.
Let him go
at Chelsea. We let him go at 14.
80 million for uncooked rice. Are you serious?
Well, amongst Chelsea fans, it's a real polarizing topic.
Why? What's polarizing?
He's really good. But here's what I've learned about
Chelsea. Here's
what I've learned about Chelsea since I started talking to Chelsea fans this summer. I've never seen a more divided fan base in my life. Half of their fan base, thinks that their top 3 Ballon d'Or podium finisher should be playing in Serie B. Like it's insane. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. Like, I wish you saw our fan base. It's a war zone.
No. Don't get me wrong.
Chelsea's worse.
No, Chelsea. Here's the thing. I in this group chat that we have a pretty fair representation of all fan bases, and I've never seen anything like Chelsea. It's absolutely insane. Like half of them think Jorginho should be playing for Crotone. Like it's insane.
No,
that's the thing.
And they're dead serious. They're dead serious.
The thing with Man United fan base, facts. The thing with Man United and say Arsenal's fan base, they are all arguing grey situations, right? Like grey areas. Whereas a Chelsea fan will say Jorginho should be in Serie B. I'm sorry. Somebody needs to get their heads checked in. Because that's one thing I learned about being like on some spaces, and I heard Chelsea fans talk, or when Oscar goes on like certain live streams with Chelsea fans, I sit there in disbelief when what I'm hearing about Callum Hudson-Odoi, what I'm hearing about Jorginho, what I'm hearing about some players. I sit there like, you guys don't know your bum from your elbow.
I don't want to touch on Chelsea for too long, but you have to understand we are a club in which last season our top goal scorer was our deep lying midfielder with 7 goals. All of them from the penalty spot. We don't know what to believe. Yeah, hilarious. We are lost at every angle. So when it comes to midfield, like we can't score goals, and people blame the attackers, but people also blame the midfielders for the fact that we can't score goals. So yeah, I don't want to go back into Chelsea right now, but big up Matt. He says Chelsea fans are the only ones who think Jorginho didn't deserve the top 3 Ballon d'Or.
I also don't think he deserved the top 3 Ballon d'Or.
I don't know about that.
It sounds all good.
Who should have been in top 3, Evan?
Not that guy. I'm sorry. You're putting me on the spot. Let me tell you who shouldn't be there. And he's one of them.
In hindsight, I'm not angry about him being top 3. I'm not angry about it. But at the time I was just like,
but we talked about it, how awards work anyway. If you win the trophy, the big trophy.
But he was
You're in for
pivotal
a shout.
in both of those. I mean, what Euros and
Yeah, but-
Champions League.
But then
Top goal scorer last year.
if England won the Euros, would Mount have been number 3?
No,
Probably.
like I said pivotal. I said pivotal. Like Jorginho was a pivotal part in Italy's team. Mount was replaceable in with all due respect.
In England.
In the England side, yeah. In the England side, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Whereas by the way, Italy was sensational in the Euros. I think it's easy to forget their group games.
No, they were deserved champions.
They were delicious to watch.
Guys, where should we go next? Because I feel like we're in this top 4 malaise.
Before we move on, actually, I was going to talk about Champions League, but we're next week, so I will save that for next part.
Chelsea
but yeah,
next week as well.
just basically, we're
the
sort
first
of
leg of the 16s are 2 weeks.
Liverpool got Inter on
Liverpool
Wednesday.
got Inter Milan. They got Inter on Wednesday.
Yeah,
come on. There's never a time I want you to win.
It's a farce, man.
If there's a time I want Inter to win, I need Inter to win.
What the hell is the Champions League first leg over 2 weeks for?
I think it's better.
It's been like that.
I think it's better.
It's been like that.
Come on.
It's been like that for It's been like that for years.
Robin, what we have to remember.
It's not been like that for decades. Let's calm down. It's not when we were in it, it wasn't the case. Exactly.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, wait,
2 weeks
so-
break. 2 weeks.
So Liverpool's second leg against Inter won't be until early March, right?
Yeah.
It's over 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm into that either.
Imagine
to be
in
honest.
March
I'm
we're
not
talking.
into it.
We're still playing last 16 in March.
But what it means is there's more eyes on the games rather than having 4 games on one night. You've now got 2 games on one night.
It's a money thing. It's a money thing.
They didn't think about that at the group stage. At the group stage, we had about 32 games on.
Yeah, because they can't, Peter. I think because honestly, when this thing happened, I saw that PSG versus Real Madrid was on a Tuesday, and I said, "Oh no, Chelsea's playing on the Tuesday. That means I'm not going to be able to watch Real Madrid." Luckily, I found out they're on opposing weeks, so I can watch both games and enjoy it, and it puts more eyes on the teams. It makes everything bigger and better. I don't think there's an issue with it personally.
I don't like tournaments being too long. There's no need. There's just no need.
Same amount of games, PR. It's the same
games. I said length, but length of time, dude. Come on.
So far. It doesn't really matter.
But we'll talk about Champions League later. I mean, I don't know why we're talking about it now. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Since we're in the top 4 malaise,
let's move quickly. Yeah.
Can we go to the toilet bowl? That is Tottenham Hotspur. Ladies.
Can I speak to Abdi? Because I don't know if he's still in the comments there. If he's still watching.
Okay, you can speak to Abdi.
Abdi told me that when Tottenham win their games in hand, they will now be above Chelsea. He also told me that when Manchester United win their easy run of games, they will now be level on points with Chelsea. Neither of those things have happened. So,
hey, Abdi, talk to me, bruv.
I don't understand. Listen, I don't understand why people get carried away with teams like Spurs.
This is part of the reasons I don't say statements. I don't say statements.
No, but you do say statements about everyone but your own team. That was my issue.
Because
you say statements about everyone.
Because look at this. Look what Abdi says. I don't agree with Abdi.
No, do you know what? Okay, in fairness to Abdi, I'll back him on this.
Oh.
Tottenham are playing Wolves at home and Southampton at home.
Yeah.
And they lost both of those games.
I said what happened. I said what happened.
Did you? You said Tottenham will lose 2 home games?
You see what I mean? You see when Robin's ready to say what happens when it's Spurs.
But
when it's Man United,
but Peter, you say this every single year because he's beginning of the podcast. This is Spurs. No matter who they have, they have a mayor in there.
Did any of you guys watch these games? I watched the Southampton
I watched them
game.
both.
It was
Bruno Lage.
It was
Bruno Lage. I wonder. Peter converted me. Bruno Lage.
No. You stay over there. Stay over there with your Nuno Espirito Santo. Yeah. Stay over there.
No. What did you do? I was just like, I'm on the Bruno.
What's Nuno doing right now? Did he get another job or is he just chilling?
No, he's chilling.
I forgot it.
That Spurs money is paying him for.
I think he's next in line for the Portuguese national team job. Nuno.
You know, he's one of these Portuguese managers. They end up managing a team in Saudi Arabia, and we're just like, what? Why did you do that? And then bounce into the Portuguese national team. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We can't see him in the Premier League anymore. He has to go. He may have to go back to Portugal and run the show.
Abdi
says, Oscar, I'm sorry. My former team let me down. I was right to believe United would catch Chelsea because of our run of fixtures. Still Banyo. You weren't right. I told you at the time. You weren't right.
Wait, Oscar, my former team.
Yeah, he's claiming that he doesn't support Man United anymore, but he'll be back when they win. So I'm not.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Tottenham was his former team. I was going to say you've gone from Tottenham to Manchester United.
No, because he did it with both teams, both Tottenham and United. He told me they would be above Chelsea when they win their games in hand, and I'm just like, But yeah. Antonio Conte.
Mm-hmm.
No, just.
I'm seriously concerned because here's the thing, though. I don't think Conte walks. Conte doesn't walk. I genuinely think again, long game. Wait into the summer because when he gets his players, then everybody's going to pay attention. I think this year, it's safe to say Tottenham should write it off, and because Conte's saying the same thing every week. In fact, now I think he's even changed his tune. He had the nerve to say that they were the better side against Southampton. Southampton had about 30 shots on goal against their 8. You know what I'm saying? They're the home side. Conte, I'm starting to question in terms of just his mentality. Do you know what I mean? Like, not even his mentality, just his brain. Because when he realized what this, he said when we lost to Mura, I then started to understand the situation, right? And I'm like, what were they telling you out there in Italy about Tottenham Hotspur? What is the whole world knowing about Tottenham Hotspur that us who are watching Tottenham week in, week out, don't see? I guess the Champions League final and Poch in the heyday, maybe that's brought Tottenham in such a level that it's like, whoa. And Robin, you're right. It is Tottenham. They're definitely going to fail. No doubt about it. But even at this point, I did not even see this. I didn't see this happening. I thought he would be steady. He'll get them 5th or 4th place because I think if it's not Man United, my second favorite would be Tottenham Hotspur. But what I'm watching these last couple of weeks, 3 defeats in a row in the league. I can't remember who was the other defeat to before these two. They lost last week. Who did they lose to last week? We can
find out. They lost. So Southampton, they lost 3-2. They beat Brighton 3-1 and they lost to Chelsea.
Okay, so they lost to Chelsea. Okay, so I guess but it's one of those where I'm like, this Tottenham side again, you can't make them up. One week they'll lose. They'll go for a winning period again, and they'll be again the favorite for the top 4. Like,
and they've got City next. They've got City next. See the City game now. It looks blatantly obvious, but that's where Pep Guardiola gets me nervous because it's a banker. This is a home banker. City at home to Tottenham. They should decimate them. But I will not be surprised if Tottenham get a result at the Etihad this weekend. It would not surprise me. But yeah, Conte in the summer. Don't worry. Listen, Conte in the summer. He will get his players. This Tottenham side will be a force to reckon with once Conte gets players. I agree with Lola. I think he's there short term.
Lola's saying that he won't re-sign. SW6 is saying Daniel Levy and Conte is not a good mix. Only one way.
I'm in agreement with that. I just don't see a happy ending for Conte and Spurs
I
together.
do not see a happy ending.
And also, Spurs are for sale, guys. I don't know if you saw that in The Athletic. Daniel Levy and the ownership group he represents are looking to sell. I think they've had enough. So tough times.
And that's a worry because if say they get somebody who's actually going to be serious with Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh yeah, if they get bought by a country, then yeah, it's curtains.
By the way, as much as I watch Chelsea and I'm like jealous and bitter and everything else about Chelsea and their success, thank God Roman did not stop at White Hart Lane because he was going there. And he just thought, this is a shower of crap. Get me to the next spot. You know what I mean? Find me something shiny. And he looked at Chelsea and thank God he's not at Tottenham. Because I don't know how I would survive. I don't know.
I guess we kind of need to move on swiftly because our stadium.
What was that comment? Sorry, what was that comment?
No, it was just he said, Oscar, I'm seeing flashbacks from Conte's second season at Chelsea. You guys, I've told you at length about how I feel about Conte, man. That second season, he put us through hell. When he realized it wasn't going to work, he really did throw it all away. So.
I didn't realize how much time we burned talking about the geopolitical impacts of building stadiums. It was fun. It was fun, though.
It was a great conversation, but it's meant we have less time to talk
about. But yeah, before we move on from Tottenham, big up Wolves. Good away win. So yeah, make sure that they just keep doing what they're doing.
Bruno medium. Well done to him.
This guy, Bruno Medium. How dare you? How dare you? Yeah, Tottenham Hotspur, man. They're in the mud. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Question to you guys: where will they finish in the league this year? Because they're definitely in the top 4 race.
Fifth.
Exactly where they are right now.
Where are they right now?
They're 7th.
Yeah. They'll be 7th they'll be 8th. They'll be 8th.
They're 7th, and they got 2 games in hand on West Ham in 4th, and only 4 points off.
Hey, guys, that 7th is not looking like a 7th anymore.
No, but Oscar, if you look at it, listen, if you look at the form table for the last 5 games for all these teams that are supposedly in the top 4 race, Wolves are in the best form. They're in better form than Arsenal. Yeah. They're in better form than Man United. They're in better form than West Ham. They're in better form than Tottenham. They are the informed team in the race right now. And we're in the meat of the season, so you can't write them off. You have to give them a respectable prediction.
Yeah. No. I can give them a respectable position. They're not in the top 4 race, though.
They're 4 points. They're 4 points off 4th. Oscar, they are 4 points off 4th with 2 games in hand on the team in 4th.
The thing is though, we commend them, but Wolves are not making it.
No, I don't think. He said it in the race.
I said 5th. I said they're finishing 5th. Yeah, I didn't say that.
They're fighting. They're fighting for the Europa.
Are they going Europa? I'm just thinking, are they getting Europa?
Because by the way, if they finish 5th, that's a grenade. That's a grenade in the middle of that pack.
No, I think it's Arsenal and West Ham in contention for 4th right now.
Yeah, but when I'm downplaying Wolves, I'm not saying they haven't done well so far. I'm just saying, like, I don't see this being kept up to this level. I don't see it like the other teams in this race.
That I do agree with. Yeah.
Like Wolves are not like. Where are their goals coming from, guys?
Listen, they're not scoring goals at the moment, right?
Guys. They've scored 21 goals in 23 appearances this season.
But we could ask that same. We just got done asking where Arsenal's goal is going to come from, and yet we consider them firmly in the race.
Arsenal have scored 34. Arsenal have scored 13 more goals in 1 less game.
Sure, but Oscar, they have the second best defense in the league.
See it.
They have the second best defense in the league.
I mean, that's why they are where they are, which is facts.
You know, at the end of the day, like they've tightened up at the back. They may get better going forward. But look at everybody's striker situation. Arsenal don't have one. West Ham barely have one, and they'll do well to if they stay in the they're in the Europa League, right? Knee deep in it, right?
Like guys, there's no way
knee deep in it. There's
no way West Ham should have more goals than Arsenal, bro.
The thing is that do you know why I feel West Ham aren't in top 4? Because they're gonna take that Europa League very seriously. I think that will be their way or their attempt to get into the Champions League.
I think when you look at it on paper, and I know you can bring up how many goals Wolves have scored. If you bring it up on paper, Wolves have the best striker out of any of the teams in the race. Raul Jimenez.
Yeah, but it's not working though. It's not,
no, you're right. It's not working.
Out of him.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying on paper, he is the best striker out of all these teams that are in the race.
I know
he is. Oscar, that's not fair because that's not fair because obviously since his injury, that's when his goals have dried up since the injury.
But also that's not entirely true if we're doing all that. Because on paper, the best striker is Harry Kane. So,
are they in the race? Did we consider them in the race at this point?
I think so.
Because out of all the teams in the race, they're the lowest placed and they're in the worst form.
And yeah, Oscar's saying that they're even in the race.
No, but they're the lowest placed because they're in the worst form. They also have a game in hand on Wolves, which takes them above them.
Yeah, so there were 2 games in hand against them.
I don't want to be games in hand FC. I don't want to. I just don't see Wolves as long-term contenders for top 4.
No, they're here right now. They're not. They're not. But I said 5th. Which sparked this whole thing.
I'm with it. Europa League spots. I'm with it.
Yeah, I think Arsenal will pip them to 5th. I think they will do that. I think Lola's correct. We're both good defensively, but going forward is where we'll struggle to win games. But we're brilliant defensively, which is I've never said that.
And West Ham's equal at the very least. Arsenal or West Ham's equal.
Yeah, man. But when you added West Ham, it's just throwing a cat amongst the pigeons.
I see, but West Ham have played the most amount of games out of anybody in the race, and they only have a 1-point cushion.
Yo, West Ham have 13 games left of the season. What's going on? I can't believe that 13 games.
They have 13,
yeah,
and on the flip side, Arsenal have 15. Tottenham have 15. You know what I mean? Like it's been a weird scheduling for I mean, COVID and all that.
Do you know what? I think Wolves finish above West Ham.
Really? Dang.
Just because West Ham
are out of Europe.
No, I think they win the Europa League. Don't worry about that.
No. Oh,
West Ham have a significantly better goal difference than these teams around them. By the way,
my personal. Well, when we get to actual Europe, because obviously Europe's back next week, I will tell you who my actual Europa League winner is.
It better not be Barcelona or Dortmund. Dortmund in the Europa League?
I actually forgot about Dortmund are in the Europa League. I actually forgot about them.
Barcelona played Napoli on Thursday. What a game!
Oh, that's great. That's great news for West Ham.
I know it's great news.
Great news for West Ham.
They've gone straight, and don't forget, it's West Ham are straight into the last 16, whereas they're playing around the 32. Hi-yo!
Yeah.
Okay. Should we move on?
Yes.
Can I in the interest of moving on, can I point out how depressing I'm now realizing it is that we've scored the same amount of goals as Man City, us, Liverpool, but we've conceded 5 more and we're 9 points behind them. This City team is just, bro.
City have won the league.
Evan, tell these people because I spoke up on here the other day, literally saying, guys, we're watching something unbelievable with Manchester City.
No, it is unbelievable, Peter, but we've become desensitized to it. That's the thing. We saw them do that 17-18 season and that 18-19 season back to back, and we were like, whoa, and now it's just become boring. Let's be honest. It is a bit boring. Honestly, it's crazy because I'm such a fan of the game. I'm a Premier League junkie. I've watched 0 Manchester City games this season because it's boring. It's boring. How many cutbacks and tap-ins from the back post do I need to see? You know what I mean? Like they maul teams. And as a Liverpool fan, that 18-19 title race destroyed me. I cannot watch Man City games. I swear, I would turn the Man City game on and Sergio Aguero would score inside 60 seconds. It was so annoying praying that Man City would drop points. I'm over it. My head's in Europe at this point.
There is one person in Man City that we all like on the Top 4 podcast, and that name is Raheem Sterling. He got another hat trick on the weekend.
Are you sure this Top 4 podcast likes him? Because it seems to be I'm the only one waving his flag. Not West.
Do you know what it is? We all like him as a person.
Past beef aside, because obviously there's some history there, Sterling and stuff. I think he would be unreal for this Klopp team. I think he would be insane.
Oh yeah, you would.
He would cook. He would cook in this Klopp team. Oh,
guys, he is Manchester City's top goal scorer this season.
And it's crazy because we all thought of him as past it, or Guardiola didn't fancy him anymore like 6 months ago.
Not me.
Remember?
Not me. I'll tell you that right now, Evan. Not me. I've been waving that.
He was out of fashion at Man City. He was kind of becoming out of fashion.
Man City have flavor of the months. You know, it's Gunnar at one point. There's Bernardo Silva cooking. We've got, well, by the way, Kevin De Bruyne has come off the bench.
And
you know what I mean?
What?
Like,
Guardiola gets a spell out of everybody once per season.
And
you know what I mean? And that's enough.
It's called man management.
Yeah, it is.
When you see someone slacking off, hey, go sit on that bench, blood. Then he decides to wake up. All right, now you're back in the team, bro.
Okay.
Guardiola won his 550th. Yes. Guardiola won his 550th game in management. Okay, at Carrow Road.
This comment that y'all have highlighted here.
Yeah.
I still think Liverpool have a chance. They just can't drop a single point. Liverpool.
They cannot.
Liverpool,
they cannot.
the maximum amount of points Liverpool can get from now until the rest of the season is 96 points, and there's a good chance that won't be good enough. This league is a joke. Here's the thing. I watched Liverpool get 97 points in 18-19. That was the most amount of points any team had ever accumulated, apart from Man City the year before, and Liverpool did not win the league. Imagine if we had bottled the final against Spurs.
Oh, what a horrible!
Imagine if that had happened. Like, oh my god, yeah. So the City team, I don't need to be educated on Man City. They are just.
Listen, I understand when you're in the title race fighting against Man City and that's the rivals. I totally understand where you're coming from. I think obviously me sitting from far, right, where I'm not even invested, but I don't want to see Liverpool, Chelsea, or Man United win anything. In fact, it goes City first, then it goes Liverpool, then it goes Chelsea, then United in that order. So when I'm watching this, what I'm now seeing, so you know how you said people become desensitized to City, their greatness at the moment. I find new ways to enjoy this. So there's no striker for the second year running. And what we're looking at is that they're going to be better than what they did last season. Okay. And it's like, to me, I'm just like, no. We need to drink this in. I remember when they beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, I always go back to it. And I said, there is the league title wrapped. This is, and mathematically, everything was still muddled and squashed and whatever else. Chelsea were probably even in the lead at the time in terms of the table. But from then, when I saw these guys go away from home to these teams and not lose games, I just said, nah. I said, Pep Guardiola is a freak.
I think, Abdi says these deluded Pool fans believe they're in the title race. I think it's over for what it's worth, and I think I speak for most fans when they say that. The only reason there is still a chance is because Liverpool have a game in hand, and they have to go to the Etihad. And as you can imagine, if Liverpool win their game in hand and at the Etihad, it's a 3-point race. And then by definition, the title race is still on. So that's the only reason it is. But that being said, ever since we had our rough sort of end to December, my head's been in Europe fully. That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
I feel you, man. But those points that you just made there, and the fact that you've got Thiago coming back into the side, Elliott's coming back, and now obviously the new signing Luis Diaz is adding a bit more strength and depth to your squad. Me and Adrian, me and him have been DMing each other every time Liverpool play, and I'm like, bro, I think it's still on, I've convinced him.
You know what, though? One thing I will say about Liverpool, and I think he's the biggest unsung hero out of all Liverpool, is their goalkeeper.
Oh,
the amount of points.
Is he unsung?
No, I think he's unsung compared to other players.
He's the best keeper in the league. Some would say
no,
the world.
I think I see where he's going with this, though, because I think just in terms
the amount of points he is.
Yeah, exactly. The amount of points he's bailed us out more this season than any other time. And I've seen him keep us in Champions League ties, by the way. The amount of points, the only reason there's still some semblance of a title race to talk about is because of Alisson. And listen, I know I've lived through some great keepers in this league. Czech's peak was absolutely insane. Van der Sar was great. In my lifetime, I think Alisson and Manuel Neuer are the most complete goalkeepers I've seen. They just don't have a weakness. They're great with their feet. They command the box well. They're insane shot stoppers, good in one-on-one situations. Obviously Czech has probably had the highest peak in the Premier League that I've seen. But in terms of just having no weaknesses in their game, I think Alisson is up there with Neuer for me. It's just insane.
Bostak Endo, I'll go with his first comment. He says, we're not winning at the Etihad. We never win there. There's too many variables for us to win the league.
I watched us beat a better Man City team at the Etihad, like 4-1 in the Champions League. So
he said like 4-1. SW6 said yes, Oscar is still on. Yo, it's still on. It's still on.
Listen. I do think Liverpool and Fabinho is a big part of it. Liverpool's record when Thiago and Fabinho have started together is like 17 wins and 1 draw. That's pretty insane. But obviously, due to injuries and things in COVID and things like that, you'd expect them to have played more than 18 games in midfield together at this point in their Liverpool careers. But the reason I think the Champions League is still on, because when you look at the amount of games left in Europe, there's only 7 games between Liverpool and their 7th Champions League title. And how many of those games realistically do you have to win? Like 4 or 5? You just have to avoid a heavy defeat and win the final.
You know what? Yeah.
So
I'm actually surprised that AC Milan have held on to the second spot for ages in terms of most Champions League. Like, there was such a huge gap between Madrid and AC Milan, and between AC Milan and the rest, it's still huge. 7 Champions League. It's not a joke.
So if Liverpool win another one, they're level with AC Milan.
They're level with AC Milan.
That would give us level with Milan. And here, let me know if this is a stretch. I was thinking this the other day. I also think it makes, with the exception of Madrid, it makes Liverpool's Champions League collection the most balanced, because you have a bunch of like the old school ones when the tournament was different. You have a mid 2000s one, and you have 2 in like modern times. Whereas like sometimes people like point to Madrid's like 6 in a row in the 50s, and they're like, "Come on, what's that?" You know what I mean?
but I can't lie.
It was a joke, yeah.
14-7. What was it? 15-18 Madrid was unreal.
No, yeah, obviously, probably.
I'm not
Unreal.
gonna lie. I'm not lie. It might just be me, but
Yeah, I was going with you.
I feel like our when all of us have children and grandkids, they're gonna be like, "Yo, Madrid won it back to back." Like they're gonna be like, "That was crazy."
To back.
Me watching it, I'm like, I know Madrid weren't the best team in the world at that time.
That's crazy. I'm sorry. In my opinion, I'm right there with you guys. I'm sorry. Zidane practiced black magic to get to the final. Like the calls they got. Like, do you guys remember that Arturo Vidal double yellow at the Bernabeu for that tackle on Isco? For that tackle on. Bro, I mean, and obviously Ronaldo offsides 5 times against Juve in 3 years. I'm sorry. Like, come on. Like, it's...
Nah, 3 times in a row.
No, I'm with you.
Salah dislocated shoulder in the final, concussed Loris Karius, dropping 2 goals into the...
Hey,
come on,
bro. It is what it is, man. It is
By the way, and also, in my era, I think Barcelona, when you watch Barcelona win those Champions Leagues, they 100%. Were unbelievable. 100%. Like, they were a joke. I mean, 2011 Barcelona, I never thought you could get better than that. 2015, they were
2015 Barcelona
was a joke.
Nah, that 2015 Barca team's the best attack I've ever seen. But yeah, you're right. When we talk to our kids and our grandkids about this era, they're gonna be like, "Wow, Dad, how good was that Madrid team?" I'm like, "Son, let me tell you about Man City 18-19. Let me talk to you about Pep Guardiola and Man City from 2017 to 2019.
Robin, you get what we're saying? Like, they obviously.
I know. Don't get me wrong. There is a thing of were they actually the best team. I can't lie.
Yeah, go on.
That Madrid in Europe, like no one wants to play them for a good reason. They're not like they were like a bad team.
Nah, man.
It ain't that, bro.
We're going down on this, like they didn't do it. Creepy.
I'm sorry, it just wasn't fun to watch. Like, it literally Madrid from that literally Madrid from that time period was Ronaldo sulking in the box waiting for someone to give him a tap in. Like that's literally that Madrid team.
For me, the biggest thing is they weren't even winning their league all of those 3 years.
No, exactly.
How can you come to me and be like, "Yo, this like me saying this Chelsea team from last season is, one of the best teams in the world. We weren't even top 3 in the world last year." Do you know what I'm saying? We weren't that good. We just won the Champions League.
Barcelona's Champions League victories, they won trebles in those years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bayern Munich trebles when they won. Even Bayern Munich, you know what I'm saying? Bayern Munich have 2 Champions Leagues where they decimated teams.
So my thing is, what I'm saying is, I feel like we're toning down, like seriously toning down what Madrid did. I'm like, no, guys, we can't just say that.
No one's downplayed it.
Because everyone that they beat, that they're supposed to beat in the final, they did. They battered Juventus twice, and they beat Liverpool convincingly, who said they were all going to win.
Don't get me wrong. They own that competition. They own it. They
own the competition. You can't be like this.
Yeah, anytime anyone wins the Champions League, they are just borrowing it from Real Madrid. Don't get me wrong. That is their competition. They're just borrowing it temporarily until Madrid fix up. So people in the comments, I have respect. It's insane. It'll probably never, ever be repeated in our lifetime. That is an insane run. That being said, I think when you look at that decade, I can think of 3, 4, maybe even 5 teams that were better than that Madrid team.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think the only place where I would agree when they wouldn't have done it is had Neymar not left Barcelona.
I'm gonna be real, Robin. Yeah. The comments are on your side. SW6 is saying, "Nah, Madrid 3 in a row,"
and they will. They were. Don't get me wrong.
Lola is saying, "Sorry, style or not, you can't downplay 3 Champions Leagues." Adrian saying, "Word, a 3-peat. They were the best team in Europe. I am sorry." For me,
by far,
like you in order to be like, you have to win your league. Like, for me, winning your league is the most imperative, important thing in order for me to consider you one of the best teams in the world. Like,
context is key. Liverpool got 97 points the year they won the Champions League in the toughest league in the world. They got 97.
Yeah,
and they won the Champions League, and Man City didn't come close to winning the Champions League that season.
We had a conversation, Evan, on this podcast the next year when Liverpool got knocked out by Atletico, but you won the league, and then Bayern went on to win the Champions League. And I said, in my opinion, Liverpool are the best team in the world. And people were like, no, it has to be Bayern. It has to be Bayern. I'm like, no, I genuinely look at this Liverpool team and I think they're better than this Bayern team. For me, it's never about who wins the Champions League that is guaranteed to be the best.
I think from that period, so Liverpool in 1819, they'd lost their 1-L in 1819 was at the Etihad, that late Leroy Sané goal. From that loss on, Liverpool got 104 points from a possible 106 and a Champions League. Like that is just insane.
It's insanity. And the thing is,
what does bun mean? Someone fill me in.
As in, like, forget
content. Forget it.
Okay, who won, Peter? Who won La Liga in those 3 years?
Madrid didn't win one. I think they won two. Let me see. I'll be the
Atleti and Barca. Come on, man.
Atleti and Barca.
Atleti won in 15.
Yeah.
No, what year did Atleti win,
No,
actually?
they didn't. Atleti was last year. They didn't win in 15.
No,
let's not do that.
They won before. They won under Klopp.
They won 5.
Yeah, that was 2012. That was 2012, 2013. That was ages ago.
It weren't. But Barca won 2013. You're on that high grade. I think they won 2014.
It was 13-14 with Diego Costa. They went to the final. They went to the final, and Real Madrid won 4-0. So it was the first of the three-peat, no?
Yeah.
No. It wasn't the first of three-peat because it was Madrid, then Barcelona for their treble, then it was Madrid 3 times. That's what I said. Atleti hadn't won a league La Liga in time, Peter. It was like...
Wait, how many did Real Madrid win 4 Champions Leagues in 5 years?
I was going to say.
Yes, we did. Let's not do Oscar. Let's not do this.
We must take this out.
One at a time. So in 14, Madrid won it. They then won it in 16, 17, 18.
17, 18, 19.
Okay.
They didn't win 19.
No, not 19. Not 19.
I'm getting you there. In 2014, they won La Liga. In 2015, they didn't. Barca won La Liga. In
Barcelona did it. 2015-16 was Barcelona again. 2017, they won it.
Yeah. Madrid won 17, and then Barca won 18.
So they won 2 La Ligas.
They won 2 La Ligas in 4 years. In five seasons.
Yeah.
Plus 4 Champions League. Come on, guys.
Evan, I can't back it anymore.
Listen. Here's the thing. I am not diminishing them.
You guys are not putting respect on Madrid.
I am not diminishing them. They are undoubtedly one of the greatest teams to ever do it. They are firmly in the conversation. I just think there's 2 teams in that decade that are better than them significantly.
We'll talk about like the dad didn't win the league. I was like, come on, guys.
That's like, what's this article? I don't want to digress, but then people start bringing up. They'll take Neymar over.
I'm not disrespecting. Guys.
By the way, as well,
I'm not
Madrid finished. By the way, Oscar, Madrid finished 3rd in 2 of those seasons. So it wasn't like they were 2nd; they were 3rd.
What, 3rd?
Atleti was 2nd because I was thinking Atleti had won more, but Atleti had finished 2nd twice.
Where's your comments for the 3rd place finishes? Where they at?
They ain't there. I'm with Evan on this one.
I'm not saying they're bad, guys. I'm not saying
but you guys
bad.
were talking. You weren't respecting Madrid's name. I was like, what is happening here? I saw hands say, David, you were doing this like a smelly. I said, what is this?
Question.
This is Real Madrid.
Question. Prime Ronaldinho or prime Neymar?
Oh God.
Come on.
Ronaldinho, obviously, but we'll move on.
Ronaldinho all day. What we're doing here?
You're smart, brother.
I was like, what we're doing here?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be honest. It's closer than people think.
No. You can't pass the ball with your back, and you think I'm just gonna let that one go. Ronaldinho's goals as well, and no, we're not getting into this conversation.
As Adrian, no, because you guys were disrespected.
Maybe we should steer clear of this one.
Let's not. We'll be here all night, and Evan's day will turn into night for how long we'll be here. Lola says
all we were saying, by the way,
man, we're acting like 3 CLs with league and other cups or something.
No, I never said it was said.
Exactly.
The chat's putting words in my mouth.
What is this?
All
saying
he
it
has,
was him.
listen, all Evan said, let me back Evan on this one. All he said was, when Madrid won those Champions Leagues, we can still think of other Champions League winners that were better than all those Madrid teams. Facts. Bayern Munich's 2013 team, Barcelona's 2011 team, Barcelona's 2015 team, Bayern's 2020 team. You know what I'm saying? Like all those three teams that I've just named in those years laid the smackdown on Real Madrid. And Madrid finished third in the league.
I never ever looked at that Madrid team like, wow, this team is amazing. It was like they've done it again. That's what it was like.
No, it's seriously. No, it's literally. It's seriously. I remember watching Madrid.
Each time I was supporting the other team.
Madrid would be getting clapped by Juventus or Bayern in a league, and I'm just like, I wonder what they're gonna get a penalty for this time. Like it's literally that. It was literally that. I was just like, damn, I can't wait for
Juventus one. That Juventus one was a farcical situation.
Dude. Honestly, when Buffon took his red card for dissent, I was like, good for you, Buffon. Good for you, because that was bullshit. Like
honestly,
that was bullshit.
Istem was like, you don't. Honestly, I
respect Madrid. I can't believe we're not respecting.
You guys are basically saying
no, we're not. We're not.
We're not. Fraff is actually mad.
No, we're not.
Said, four champs in 5 years. Teams have better individual season, but over time,
this is the question, right? So it's all of Madrid's three-peat, right? It's impressive because it's a three-peat. We can all agree that is unprecedented and great, and it solidifies them in the conversation for one of the greatest teams to ever do it. Undoubtedly, no disrespect. However, there are teams who won the Champions League in that same decade who on an individual season basis had a better season, right? That's what we're saying.
By far.
Yeah. And here, it's just context. It's just context. That's all it is.
Wow. I didn't expect us to elicit such a reaction. Lola said, same way back-to-back leagues are loved. Don't act like 3 UCLs in a row isn't basically the same.
It's loved. We're not loving it. We're loving it, by the way. We are loving it. We just said hello.
Love.
If you like Bayern Munich is such a... They're so weird. Because
it's nice.
What's the matter with people? Like I look at Bayern Munich as like still probably arguably number 1 team in the world in football right now, right? Like arguably, but they underachieve in these Champions Leagues. I
was wondering when we were going to arrive at Bayern, because if we're going to start talking about teams that probably should have done more, I think Bayern had teams in like just they were unlucky to go out to Madrid in the way that they did. They underachieved.
Because when Guardiola was asked the question, who's the best team? Like, you're the best team in the world. And he was like saying, no, Chelsea and Palmeiras are playing in the World Club final. And I know people were like, come on, what are you talking about? But then he mentioned there's Bayern Munich, there's other teams, there's better teams out there. Like, you can't, there's no number 1 best team in the world right now. There isn't one. I think there's a question that any of the 3 could be in that conversation.
I mean, SW67 Bayern held corner from Madrid on multiple occasions. We've dived into another conversation, and it's been really, really good. Yeah, but I feel like we need to move directions.
He said they bottled it, but what did they do in 2013 at Wembley?
No, no one can talk about the bottling of 2012 though. That's disgraceful.
Oh, dude, that's a huge.
That's disgraceful. That's in your home.
In your home,
guys. Every Champions League final is played at a neutral ground. Do you know that? It's played at neutral grounds. They play a home game.
You know what's funny, Oscar, is obviously rival fans were saying that this last Chelsea team to win the Champions League, they're the worst Champions League winners of all time. I was like, let me tell you about 2012 Chelsea. Let me tell you about how horrible that fucking team was. Oh my god.
This is a big
bro. Ryan Bertrand played at left wing.
It's not even the worst Chelsea team to win the Champions League of all time.
This is a big part of a reason why my rating for the Champions League is high. It's super prestigious, but I'll never consider you as the best team in the world just for winning the Champions League. Because
2004.
I've seen Chelsea do it twice when we weren't the best team. Like, we were nowhere near the best team. I watched Liverpool win it in 2005 when they were bang average. We were
5th. Everton finished 4th.
Everton
that year.
Everton had
David Moyes finished 4th with Everton.
Guys, then striker was Marcus Bent. They finished above Liverpool. Stop it, man.
Tim Cahill. Oh my god.
Stop it. So what Real Madrid did is amazing.
Oscar, watching a final between Porto and Monaco in 2004, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. We went unbeaten. And they went and that was the final.
Monaco went to the final with Fernando Morientes and Dada Perso.
Jesus Christ.
Perso!
You know,
to face
in terms of the Champions League. In terms of the Champions League.
One second. Do you know who was centre half for Monaco in that team? You need to bring up somebody. Do you know who was the centre half?
Who was the centre half in that
Sebastian Squillaci.
Peter, who was up front for Porto in the Champions League final?
I want to say, who's up front?
Yes.
Nuno. Is it No, it wasn't Nuno Gomez. It wasn't Nuno Gomez, and it wasn't Paoletta.
You know, to judge how 2004 annoyed me, because we should have won that Champions League. Like,
pipe down. It should have been us. It should have been us.
You know.
Yeah, who was the semi? We went to the final.
No, bro. You
weren't in the semis. You didn't go out in the semi.
You weren't in the semi.
You weren't in the
I'm saying the fact that we went out, like, oh my gosh.
You know who was man marking? You know who was man marking Shevchenko in that 2005 final? It was Jimmy Traore, bro. Jimmy Traore was man marking Shevchenko. I watched Shevchenko miss from 2 yards out. Do you guys remember that save from Dudek in extra time?
Yeah, I do remember that save.
From 2 yards out, Shevchenko missed.
It's a fake save.
That is insane.
It was a fake.
By the way, I've just googled it now. Benny McCarthy didn't start; he came off the bench. But Benny McCarthy in the Champions League final.
I know.
What a joke!
I know. But although he was hot fire that year, like he was really good. Those last couple, those Champions League guys that are like Walter Pandiani, you know what I'm saying? Any Deportivo people out there, like there's some people who are really good, like in the Champions League.
We've gone far. We've gone really
Liverpool.
Really far.
Liverpool won at Turf Moor, a nice gritted away victory in the reign of the Burnley, Lancashire.
Burnley.
No, Burnley. Burnley.
What are your thoughts, Evan?
It's Burnley's time to go.
So, sorry, I cut out for a second. Are you saying who I think's getting relegated?
No. I was talking Liverpool because you won.
Burnley.
You won at Burnley. You won at Turf Moor this weekend.
Gotcha.
So we're talking Liverpool very, very quickly.
Okay, So it was a horrible game. We Burnley at their own backyard. Just a scrappy set piece goal. Liverpool were not very good. Burnley were equally not very good. But I've also, even though they currently sit 20th, I've learned that it's kind of pointless to hope that Burnley get relegated because they never do, even though we all kind of want to see the back of Burnley. I respect that there's some crazy, like, mad scientist formula to what Sean Dyche is doing. Like, in a way, in their own way, Dyche, Allardyce, Pulis, they're all geniuses. You know what I mean? Like, there is a genius to what they do. But yeah, it was a shit game with shit conditions. I don't know what this new Roberto Firmino has done with the old Roberto Firmino. But
David, the amount of bleeping you've got to do today.
Lola, see, Lola's gonna jinx it. Lola, you're gonna jinx it.
I'm sorry to say it. No, Burnley will be here, guys. I don't know what you lot are thinking.
They're gonna find a way. They always find a way, bro.
Burnley are gonna be.
If Burnley are still here, my love for them.
Listen, I'm going to tell you who's going down. I'm going to tell you who's going down this season. Okay, are you ready for it? They go by the names of Watford. I think we can all agree.
Yes.
They go by the name of Norwich City. I think we can all agree.
Yes.
Now I can't pick between these two teams, but here's what's it called? Burnley's not one of them. Leeds United and Brentford. Those two are in the mixture, the cement mixture, and it just depends which one
Burnley will get 9 points.
Listen.
Get above them.
Here's the thing:
we'll finish 16th in the league.
If Burnley win their games in hand against the three teams in front of them, they are only 2 points safe. So even if Burnley cash in on the games they have, they are in the mixture firmly. I think it's Watford for sure, Norwich for sure, Everton are in the conversation. Absolutely.
Hey, why are you trying to play my boy?
Hey, stop.
Peter.
Why are you trying to play my boy?
I said, Evan, I said this a few weeks ago. I said, listen, guys, Everton are in trouble if they don't get anything right. But I was hounded out. They said, no.
They got it right on the weekend, didn't they?
Yeah,
they got it right on the weekend. Guys, all I'm saying is this, yeah. I just want one thing. I just want one thing to be clear. Right? You guys can have your predictions, and I'm not mad at your predictions. I do not think Everton are going down this season. But all I want from you guys is to remember that this was your prediction. You thought Everton were going down.
I said
when Frank Lampard keeps them up, don't run it back and be like,
he said Everton were going down.
Oscar, respectfully.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to run it back.
No, respectfully, my wording.
I said they were in trouble, and no one believed me. Look, guys,
I said they were in the mix. I didn't say they're going down. I said they were in the mix. I think Watford. I think Watford are a shoo-in to go down. Norwich are a shoo-in to go down. And the rest of it is a crapshoot. I'd say Burnley are still the most likely. Knock on wood. Don't want to jinx it. And Everton, Newcastle, Leeds United, Brentford are all in the conversation. But it's tough for Everton. Like, Oscar, on paper, Everton should be finishing like 8th.
Everton are not in the conversation. I'm so sorry. They're not in the convo.
We had this conversation last week. Everton will finish 12th, 13th, man. They're not in this conversation.
Yeah. My dude, they have 22 points, and they've lost 4 of their last 5.
I will say this, though. It was shocking to see them lose to Newcastle. Yeah. That was a bizarre
I was shocked. I was shocked too. I
don't think they're in the mix. But
where they currently are, they are in a weaker position than both Leeds and Brentford. And if we're gonna put Leeds and Brentford in the conversation, then
wait. When you say weaker position, are you talking about their league position today?
Yes,
guys.
Yeah, at present.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I have these conversations, I don't put much stock in that.
Oscar, you know, when I told you my 3 teams, go look at Brentford's situation right now. Look at their situation.
Brentford are going down.
Huh? Okay, so you're saying Brentford going now because it's a toss-up between Leeds and Brentford.
Do you know
what's crazy about Leeds United right now? Yeah, Leeds are a grenade that's about to go, and what I mean by that is either Bielsa just says, you know what, screw this, I'm out of here, and he just walks because he tends to walk. He gets itchy feet wherever he's at, and also the fact that Leeds United need to they need to change the way their football is, but they're not going to change it. Right. The thing is, Everton are not in this conversation. And Everton and Newcastle will be home and dry. But Watford, Norwich City, and then Leeds, Brentford. I'm going Brentford more than Leeds. They're the ones going down, and Burnley will survive. Burnley will finish 16th, in fact.
I think it's important to point out. I think you're right, Peter. Brentford 1 point from their last 15. Crystal Palace only have 1 game in hand on Brentford, 2 more points, and they have 3 points from their last 15.
Evans, please tell me what's going on with the bottom 3 or 4 situation and Brentford's games. How many games in hand do the bottom 4 have on Brentford?
The bottom 4, Newcastle have played. Okay, so let's just out. Brentford have played 25. Newcastle have played 23. Norwich have played 24. Watford have played 23, and Burnley have played 21. Burnley have played the fewest amount of games in the league up until this point.
Guys, look at those points. 24 to 21 is that 3 points separates Burnley from being 17th place.
The only team out of all these relegation candidates that are objectively in good form are Newcastle. They are unbeaten in their last 5, and they've won 3 of their last 5. So, and they've been unbeaten in that time, as I said. So Newcastle are the only team in good form. They also have games in hand on Brentford. It's hard to see Newcastle going down in the current form. It's hard to see them going down.
The form that Lampard walked into. I mean,
Lampard is it's a really bad situation.
But you know what? Look at that Brentford form, people. Pay attention,
guys. Ivan Toney said it best. F Brentford.
And also, you know what? Good thing you brought up the striker, because I look at Burnley striker in Weghorst. I'm liking what I see. Watford, they can't get as consistency in terms of like goal scorer, like a top goal scorer. Norwich City, I think Ida, however they pronounce him, he's injured. Newcastle United got Chris Wood and obviously Wilson, big up him. Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin at Everton. Leeds, again, who's scoring their goals? And Brentford, again, who's scoring their goals?
Leeds have United next, Brentford have Arsenal, and Norwich have Liverpool. So some tough games coming up. Or West Ham have against Newcastle next. They deserve to be spoken of in that breath as well. So tough games. We'll find out a lot about it.
Games.
Do you know what? I'm interested in Burnley Brighton this weekend. It's perked my interest now. I wonder how that will go.
Yeah, it's tough for Burnley. I mean, if you listen to Burnley fans, obviously they needed a striker after Wood left, but man, they needed so much else. I mean, they needed a midfield upgrade. They needed some help at fullback. They needed quite a bit.
They need money.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a very exciting league. There's so many stories going on right now in the top 4 race and the lower relegation race. Yeah. I'm watching a lot of games with we're in February and this game means something big for everyone in the team.
I wish just for the season, both as a Liverpool fan and just for the sake of the league, I wish Liverpool had lost one less game so that we could all collectively agree the title race is a little more interesting. Because then if Liverpool had lost one less game if they beat City at the Etihad and win their game in hand, then it's even. And we all think Liverpool are capable of doing that to a certain extent.
Man. I wish Ben Chilwell never had ACL, but
it's what it is. Ifs, ands, and buts.
I wish we had Aubameyang and I could have done with those two.
All right, Pete, we've been going for a long time. Where should we move to? I wanted to move towards the end.
In fairness, we diverted from the Liverpool talk into Burnley because they played Burnley. So I just want to let Evan, finish his say on Liverpool.
There's nothing really to say about that Liverpool Burnley game. To have to go and do 2-hour-long podcasts about it, you're exhausting topics. So I guess maybe I'll just talk about. I mean, it's just what can you say? We scored a scrappy goal and we got out of there. I guess I'll talk about individuals. Jordan Henderson has fallen off a cliff this season. Listen, and it's tough because the recent context is that we've just handed him basically his retirement contract. We gave him 4 years up front. He's a 31-year-old guy. And it sparks a big debate in the fan base. Is Jordan Henderson declining, or is our new way of playing midfield, which is drastically different than how it was in previous years, is it just unsuited to him? I think it's entirely unsuited to him. You can point to midfield as the reason Liverpool are not fully in the title race at this point. It's been a bit of a revolving door. The fitness of Thiago has been a huge factor. The context you need to apply to Thiago, though, is that 2 of his 3 big spells out for Liverpool have been terrible contact injuries from horror tackles that happened in game. So to call him injury prone for Liverpool is a bit disingenuous because he's only had one of those fragile injuries where he tweaked something and he's out for 2 months. You know what I mean? So it's been tough. The midfield is opening up a big conversation right now in the fan base. We haven't really adjusted well to a post-Wijnaldum world. We used to be a more conservative team. We had a more conservative approach to midfield. These days, it's a bit gung-ho and reckless. But I think Liverpool are due for a big midfield overhaul in the summer. It'll be a really interesting summer for Liverpool because, as you guys know, Mohamed Salah has not signed anything yet. There's an offer on the table that he likes, but his agent, is obviously doing agent things. So we haven't arrived at an announcement yet. But it's going to be an interesting summer for Liverpool. But it's crazy because here we are in mid-February and Liverpool are in all 4 competitions with a chance at them all. And I can't remember the last time I said that because Liverpool have had such early exits in the domestic cups in the Klopp era. We got a Carabao Cup final in what, Oscar? Is it 14 days? Exactly 2 weeks. So
exactly 2 weeks. I'm going to be there live in the flesh. So if Liverpool win,
what, you're off to Wembley?
And I will say this about the Carabao Cup and just my 2 cents on domestic cups. I think for clubs the size of Liverpool and Chelsea, it does absolutely nothing for them. It's something nice to win. Players like lifting trophies. You guys like going to FA Cup finals, and that's great. And it does good things for the English league, power pyramid. I respect that. But I think just in terms of how Liverpool and Chelsea will look back on the season,
it's a waste of time.
Respectfully, and
I
want to be respectful.
I've been thinking to get rid of it. I think it's a waste of time. I
want to be respectful to the domestic cups because I'm just some American dude sitting out in California, and I understand how vital it is for League Two clubs to have FA Cup matches against Liverpool and Chelsea and Manchester United and Arsenal. It's vital to their sustainability as a team, so I want to be respectful. But respectfully, if Liverpool win both the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup this season, but don't come close to the Champions League final or giving Man City a serious run for their money, that's an underwhelming season for Liverpool by my own standards. So
it's a shame because
I understand, but I'm with Peter. I think it's a shame, isn't it?
I love every cup. I don't care what it's called. For me, I'm so vexed that I'm not in the Carabao Cup final when I thought we would be there after our great result at Anfield. And I don't know if it goes back to like childhood, maybe because my first ever trophy I saw my team win was the FA Cup in '98, and then we went and won the league literally like 2 weeks later. And I don't know whether it's that case of there's those memories of when we beat Newcastle in the final, and then we won it again against Chelsea. We played Liverpool in the final. Like we're always there, and I don't know. Like the way you just spoke about Liverpool being in 4 cups in middle of February, I'm sitting here so jealous. Like
absolutely,
my God, that is amazing. Like I'm going gun ho to win it. Like if I wish I was I wish, but if as a Man City fan. If you're watching you guys clean up those domestic trophies because they clean it up well, mate, I will be living in heaven.
Yeah.
Without Champions League, by the way. Like I want the Champions League, but the fact that I've lost them, but I've still got 3 trophies. I've got 4 domestic cups to boot. I'm not kicking and screaming.
And I'm with you there. Obviously, I don't feel it the same way because I didn't grow up in the UK, but I've lived through Liverpool winning the FA Cup when it was more relevant. I remember what that was like. We won it the year after we beat AC Milan in the Champions League, and that was considered momentum for Liverpool. That was considered 2 really successful seasons in a row. But these days, it's just it's. I think we can all agree it's not the same.
Yeah, no, I think the first time I noticed that was in 2012. I think Chelsea beat Liverpool in the final, and it really was nothing. Like it really was like this game. Like the game didn't feel special at all. It was on the same day as other Premier League games. Whereas I don't know why I remember it in my as a kid. Sorry, the FA Cup was its own day. Is that just me?
No, it was, yeah. Even when we played it was
we faced Liverpool, and it was on the same day as other Premier League games, and I was like, "Well, this is weird." I was watching a 3 o'clock kickoff, and then I watched the FA Cup final, and it was just like it was crazy. But also, one thing I will say, you mentioned this about Peter. You mentioned childhood, and then Evan, you mentioned you didn't grow up in the UK. For me, as a kid, if you asked 7-year-old Oscar, "What is your dream?" My dream was to score in the FA Cup final, like
at Wembley.
Wembley. I never cared about the World Cup. I never cared about the Champions League. Those things weren't in my radar. The FA Cup was the biggest thing that I wanted to either do or go to. Like,
it's the oldest cup in football.
It's crazy how much it's fallen. It's crazy.
It's the oldest cup in football.
Given how competitive it is out there, I think it would be great if the FA Cup was on the same level as the Premier League. Because there was a time, like my dad said when he started watching the game in the 80s, winning the FA Cup was as good as winning the Premier League. If Liverpool won the league, but Everton were able to get the FA Cup, that was considered a huge success. And I would I want more than anything for the FA Cup to be on that pedestal again. I think that would be great. But for whatever reason, it's just not.
I don't mean to disrespect the Champions League in any way, but I remember the FA Cup used to be spoken about in such high regard, where people, like everybody outside of the UK, spoke about the FA Cup final. Like when Arsenal won it, you heard Wenger talk about it. He said, "I watched it as a kid in France." Dennis Bergkamp watched it as a kid in Holland. Like this FA Cup was what the Champions League is now in terms of its globalization. But also, right now, I think the way marketing has gone and everything else, we sensationalize the Champions League, and to the point where it's put like a dent in the FA Cup. But also the FA didn't help by making semi-finals at Wembley and all this nonsense, right? And as Oscar said, there's an FA Cup final between Liverpool and Chelsea, by the way, and it's on the same day as Premier League fixtures. That's just not on. They moved it to 5:30 when it used to be a 3 o'clock kickoff. Just little things like that where they keep tweaking it a bit too much. And now the Champions League is the Super Bowl in football at the moment, between that and the World Cup. That's how crazy it is.
Interesting. I remember I told you guys I was watching that documentary called Fever Pitch, which is all about the invention of the Premier League. And I don't know if it's on iPlayer. I don't know if you can get that, Evan, in
Wait, what's it on?
It's on BBC iPlayer.
I'd have to do a VPN. There's just no way.
Yeah, it's called Fever. But there might be, maybe if you Google it, there might be an American streaming service that carries it. But yeah, no, it's a documentary about how they built the Premier League, what the plan was, the marketing strategy behind commercialization of it. And everyone's talking about now the Super Bowl because they had the halftime show and people are going, oh, should we have halftime shows in the Champions League or this and that?
No.
And it's like, maybe that's not the right way to go, but the FA Cup could do with some commercialization.
Absolutely. I think you're right, Oscar. I think, the FA Cup could use like a fireworks show or something. I don't know. It just needs something, you know what I mean?
The FA has not marketed it
But mind
as
you,
the biggest competition in England.
Mind you,
you know what
it
you
kind
said?
of does. The thing is that it kind of does do that.
I was about to say, we boo it all off. Like Tiny Temper had a thing at a FA Cup final. No, but
I'm saying,
but the culture in England, in terms of English fans, when English fans turn up to a game, who mentioned it on the pod? Somebody mentioned it here today that in America everything is like a great entertainment thing. It's vibes. Whereas when it's Burnley against Liverpool, we do not need songs. We don't want no glaring PA. We don't want nothing else. All we want is literally just give me let the fans chant their songs. Don't drown them out. We want to sing and chant all day long, and I don't think the British culture will accept it.
I think
I agree with you.
I think you're taking that too literal. I'm not saying let's have a singer at halftime. I'm saying let's build up the brand of the FA Cup through advertising, through marketing, through various different things.
Absolutely. As a guy who kind of has his foot in both pools here, like I can say there's a bunch of things, not a bunch. There's a few key things that I think European football and world football could take from American sports that would be welcome additions. However, you guys should be taking nothing from the atmosphere of American sports because it's dead. It's dead. Yeah. You go to NFL game, something exciting happens, and then you can feel the crowd collectively go to commercial. Like you can feel it happen. The Premier League does not need to borrow any things about atmosphere from our sports because it's just not comparable. Like I am aging a year every time Liverpool
watching NFL, and I only really watch NFL when it's the Super Bowl. Like quite literally, I don't get excited until either at the halftime show or if it's the last quarter. Because the last quarter is when it actually really counts. You can win something back.
That's interesting because I like the story. Yeah. I like the story of a whole game because even the first quarter, second quarter, like there's a storyline if that makes sense. It's like
I like that too. I do like it. Like I appreciate that American football is it's a bit like a chess match played out over like a four. It's great in its own way. But don't get me wrong. Cool. The atmosphere and the tension and the release of tension that is world football and specifically the Premier League, that is a formula that you do not need to touch. It is perfect the way it is. It does not need a halftime show. It does not need fireworks. It does not need anything. Maybe for another show, I'll tell you guys what I think they should adopt, but it has nothing to do with the atmosphere or anything like that.
But it depends on who you think. So for the Champions League final, I think it was Liverpool. If I remember correctly, it was either Madrid, Liverpool, or Liverpool Spurs.
It's Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
No, not that one.
Imagine
Dragons.
Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
That one slapped, bruv. That one was.
They did it before, but like they could be like. There could be like the whole opening ceremony vibe and the whole
halftime team because halftime everyone's gone for their pints, bro. So that is not going to work.
Halftime in the Super Bowl is how long?
It's half an hour.
Well, they extended it to half an hour now.
Half an hour.
Whereas in football, you know, 50 minutes.
And when I watched it yesterday, they were speaking about how because on the BBC they had that guy Osei. I don't know what his first name is. Yeah, he was talking about how when he was in the Super Bowl, like you had to mentally prepare yourself for the extra break, and it's completely different to a normal game because you never rest for that long.
Half an hour.
No, it's like here's the thing, like the Super Bowl, like it's marketed really well, but at the end of the day, it's the capitalism Olympics. Like, do you really want that? Like in the Champions League final? No, you don't really need it to be like that. It's It opens up a interesting conversation, I will say, and I'm all for the opening ceremony stuff. That's cool. The Olympics do that, and they've been doing it for 2,000 years, so it obviously works. But
I'm a big fan of.
There's always a way to make it better.
Probably.
I'm a big fan of Formula One, right? And I've watched it for decades, and now I'm seeing like it's been overtaken by like American ownership, and now the growth spurt in that sport right now is at its all-time high. And they've done so many things outside of the racing.
Yes.
That has absolutely blown it apart, like absolutely taken it to another level.
Exactly my point.
Yeah, it just
like
made me
when
think
you look
of
at when you look at the Netflix documentary Drive to Survive, when you look at all of these what are those things called, All or Nothings, where all the NFL players are doing it, and now you're seeing the Premier League teams and the football teams getting involved in that. But the commercialization of the around features of the game is something that the UK hasn't really tapped into, and I don't think it needs to be something that takes away from the essence of the atmosphere. It can be something that's just like, okay, more coverage, more things, allowing players to express themselves in interviews, allowing players to be themselves.
Go behind the scenes.
It can be things entirely. It can be things entirely separate from the match day experience. Yeah, right. It can be entirely. And I think you're totally right. You're totally right. But the Americanization of the Premier League here, like America has done a good job with the Premier League here. It's night and day. Like for example, if you have just a normal TV subscription, cable, whatever, like just a very basic TV package plus $5 a month. So we're talking about maybe $40 max. You can watch every single Premier League game in America for roughly $40 to $50 a month. Every single game. I know, and it's a joke. Like things like the whole 3 p.m. kickoff rule. Been that. What the fuck? What is that? Like, what does it mean? I've had it explained to me by like 5 different times by 5 different people, and it still doesn't make any sense to me. Been that. I don't care.
It is dated. It's dated.
It was a rule that was made in the 60s. Like it was made at the invention of television when it was being introduced into people's homes
to make sure people went to games. Yeah, make sure.
And it still exists now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Whereas we know full well if you're playing at 3 o'clock and it's on TV, we're still going to the stadium. I'm not staying at home because you know what I mean. I'm not staying at home. Oh, by the way,
I go to Sunday games when they're on TV anyway. Like I could stay home, but I think that the issue is other teams, isn't it? So
I think people always ask me, how do you wake up at like 4 a.m. for the early kickoffs to watch the Premier League? I was like, yeah, I love my team, and it's a small price to pay to have a guarantee to watch every single game. Like knowing that there's absolutely and the Champions League is free as well. Like, every Champions League.
Do you know what I can't believe?
Listen to this.
You know what I can't believe? I grew up as a diehard football fan, and I didn't get to watch all the games.
That's obscene to me. Like
when you don't get to watch all the games.
When I'm on Twitter, when I'm on Twitter during the game, and I see people like who live 5 miles from the stadium of the football club they support asking for a stream. Anybody got a stream for this game? I'm like, what are you talking about? Where's the stream at? Yeah. Just go look at, stick your head out the window. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? You asking for a stream?
It's so funny because that's what our group chat is like. That everyone's like, "Yo, who's got the United stream?" Someone said,
"I know." MJR is like, "Where's the stream at?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? Where's the stream at?" What do you mean?
It's only when Oscar just put it because only Oscar the way Oscar just put that as well. We were diehard fans like in the 90s and early 2000s, and we were not getting that like the coverage we're getting now.
Evan, let me show you something. Carry on the story.
Yeah, the coverage that we've got now, because even now the Sunday games, we used to probably get like 1 game a week, right?
Oh man!
And now you get like, I think there's like 6 now. Like 6 of the 10 games are on TV, right? But like we wouldn't even go to the games because it was impossible to get tickets for the games, and also like at the same time it's not on TV. But I know Arsenal won 3-0 at home to Portsmouth. And it's like, yeah, man, did you see Anelka? And I was like, well, no, but you know what I mean? Like match of the day. Everybody lived on match of the day at 10:30 p.m.
Evan, can I show you what it was like being a kid in the 90s and early 2000s?
Is this the Super Soccer Saturday thing?
What I'm about to show you is worse than Soccer Saturday.
It's worse than that.
It's worse than that.
See facts.
So basically, this is I don't know if you had this in the States.
Read the comment.
What year was this?
Oh, look at it.
All throughout the 90s and up until about what year would you say?
I'd say
2002?
I said
further, yeah. Because I remember seeing names like Henry on this up until like 2005.
Evan, I don't think you
So-
understand, bro.
No,
This was the lifesaver.
So
and if
we
you
would-
see the TV, and if you see the TV,
Mario
reviews, man,
Pajas. I look at the names.
Yeah.
Oh my
Gerard's
God.
playing.
Oh, yeah.
So this is
I
Gerard.
guess-
This is
Yeah.
Steven Gerrard. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so what this would be is it's a page. It's basically like going on a website, like on the internet. You'd go on this page on your TV, and we would sit there and wait for the score to change. Me and Peter would sit waiting.
Yes.
Like,
oh
did,
my God.
Did Bergkamp score today? Let's find out in 3 minutes when it changes. It's a joke.
Oh my
Dude, you
God.
guys were watching games on a Super Nintendo. Bro.
Literally.
What is
That's
this?
what it was.
You're watching games on a NES.
Dude, hold on, Evan, yeah.
Bro.
Look at the bottom, yeah. And then when you want to read, we didn't even go on Sky Sports. Like, look, you type in 304 to get the report, bruv, and the report comes up. This is what
Yeah.
happens, bruv.
This is crazy because this is like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like Gerard's playing.
Yeah.
Like, that is wild.
I
This,
can tell
look
you
at
what
the name.
season
this,
this
this,
is.
this looks like a screen from like the late 80s. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like
This
I mean, dude,
season,
it's like
I-
8-bit. It's 8-bit
wanna s-
text.
I want to say, Oscar, that was
Yeah.
2001 season. 2001, 2002.
Probably. But yeah, there's a couple got it like
Ipswich were in the league.
Look,
Oh,
Uh,
bro.
SW6 is loving this. He says teletext. Adrian
Oh.
saying I think it ended in 2016. SW6
Six.
said last minute losses on teletext was
Oh.
horrific. You know, you're just you're waiting for it.
Teletext,
You're
you know.
waiting for it to say full time. Like you're waiting for it to
You're
say
just
full
waiting,
time.
you're
It's
praying.
refreshing every like 30
Dude.
seconds. It refreshes, and then it's
Listen.
just like go.
The only struggle that me and my dad had trying to follow Liverpool in that time period is we had to tape games like on the VCR. We had to take a blank VCR. That was
Wow.
it. All we had to do was remember to set the VCR, and we were good. That's all we had to do if we weren't
Yo.
watching live. That's all we had to do.
The pain in that comment from SW6, bro. Oh, my
Oh, dude,
God.
yeah.
But yeah, BC,
Adrian
you know.
said Reading beat Liverpool one year, and I followed on teletext.
Yeah, I remember the game. I remember the game. We'll leave it at that.
Reading.
Though.
Oh my
They
God.
had a good run, Reading. Shout out Reading. Shout out Wigan. Just weird
But
vibey teams.
Anyway, the point of this, to wrap it all in a big bow, is that the way that the Premier League and the FA are marketing their competitions could be better. There could be work to make it easier, more accessible, and more enjoyable.
And
for
you
fans.
know what's crazy is that but it's specifically to a certain market of people. The market of people being people in the UK. Like the way you guys are doing it is still dated compared to the way I do it. You know what I mean? Like it's still outdated. Like this, like I remember Mo one time was describing to me the packages that you have to buy. Like what does it cost? It's obscene, right? If you're not
That's $100.
£100 a month. Sky
£100
Sports
easy.
and BT Sport to get Premier League and Champions League, £100 a month. And
you
that's
still
not every game. That's not every game.
and that's not every game. You still miss 3 p.m. kickoff because it's literally a government rule. Like,
on Sunday, I was watching, I think, what was the game on TV? Newcastle versus Aston Villa. And then I pulled up on my laptop the Liverpool game because I wanted to see what was going on there. But that was not illegal. that was not a legal stream. So
Imagine.
And then the other game was also not on TV. So yeah, it's a shocking system we have.
And listen, that type of system is coming for me eventually because the Premier League's growth in the States right now is just exponentially in this
By the
direction.
way,
yeah, go ahead.
just one thing. It doesn't apply just to Premier League football. It is all football across the world between the hours of 3 and 5:15 p.m. So imagine like if El Clasico was on and it started at 5. We missed the first 15 minutes.
Yeah,
like clean,
and it's in Spain.
Clean.
Yeah, it's in Spain. But yeah, you know, it's a farce. It's an absolute farce. Honestly, Oscar, we need to be wrapping this up. Yeah, radio was there, obviously 5 Live, Alan Green. Oh, good times.
Who said radio? Radio. We used to listen to games on the radio.
On the radio, bro. 100%. There's been a goal at Highbury.
Ladies and gentlemen, who is your player of the week?
Yes.
Raheem Sterling.
Sterling.
Perfect
hat trick. Left foot, right foot header.
I don't want to give it to him.
Why?
It's not nice.
I'm with Evan, man. I don't even down about Man City. Like I just don't care.
We're watching greatness. Guys. Read it.
Yeah,
who did they beat at home?
They won away
Norwich.
At Norwich.
Oh, Norwich, yeah.
They played away.
Fair enough. That's better than I thought.
Raheem the Dream Sterling.
Raz, give it Raz. Wait, let me just have a look at the fixtures.
Give it Raz till the end of the season.
Give it Raz.
The only other person I could think of is Alisson had just an incredible game for Liverpool.
No one was really shining like that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but other than that, Liverpool's best player was Naby Keita, and all he did was not fuck up. So ours kind of low. Everybody else had a howler.
I just realized this, but I will mention it at the Not That Guy. We'll go on now.
Okay. Everyone's saying Raheem for Player of the Week. So Raheem Sterling is your Player of the Week for this week. Team of the Week, guys. Is it time?
Is it time for who?
Team of the Week.
We've got Super Frankie Lampard. He
Oh,
knows exactly what I mean. Everton gave him the business, man. Come on.
I'm gonna go Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Oh, do me.
I'll go Man City. I was like, come on.
Okay, anyone but City. All right.
City's easy, to be fair.
But everyone else had a thinker.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it to Southampton, who capped off. Cool. I'm giving it to Southampton because these were their last 3 Premier League games: City, Tottenham, and United, and they won one of them and drew twice. So again, certainly fixtures they were expected to lose. Yeah, they have emerged out of undefeated. So I'm giving it to Hasenhüttl and Southampton.
By the way, Hasenhüttl's post-match interview, did anybody have a butcher's?
What, did he cry again?
No, he laid the smackdown on Manchester United because he still hates Ralf Rangnick. Man said
they don't like each other.
Oh, bro, what?
No.
Them two hate each other.
I'm under a rock. What's this story?
No, they don't like each other at all.
So Hasenhüttl, remember the rise of RB Leipzig. Hasenhüttl picked them from the 3rd division and brought them all the way up to the Bundesliga, finished 2nd. But what Leipzig were doing, especially under Rangnick's like headship, was that he kept touting Nagelsmann, and to the point where Ralf Hasenhüttl was like, "You're disrespecting the team," and then walked. He just walked away.
But you know what's funny?
So what was post-match?
Yeah.
So his post-match was like, Manchester United, they're never going to sort of like live up to their energy. They're never going to give the effort. They're always going to, they're never really that good. So we always knew that going into the game. So they were not surprised that the first half for Man United was good and the second half was terrible. But it's the fact that no manager ever comes out and talks about the opposition about how bad they are. Because that's literally what he did. But
yeah, people don't like Ragnar.
No, because they literally. Peter, I was about to say
it was more so that he doesn't like Rangnick. That's where that all.
But the thing is, though, they had an interview, both of them, literally before the game, talking about how great they let each at Leipzig. I was like, really?
Rangnick left. What's it? Hasenhüttl left on bad terms at RB Leipzig.
SW6 says I thought they were good friends. Though.
Yeah, literally.
Maybe
everyone does. I don't know why.
Maybe at one time. Maybe at one time.
Publicly bad.
By the way, SW6 is at a howler. By the way, an absolute howler.
Go on.
He says Evan looks like Timo Werner slyly.
That's weird because I was on Grizz's stream the other night. And people said I looked like Fabrizio.
Oh, that is a shout. Romano is a shout.
I'm hearing it.
It's the scruff because Fabrizio always has the scruff, right? And the longer hair. Yeah, so I kind of see it.
I need the accent and what transfer is happening next summer.
Come here we go.
All we need to do is here we go. Team of the week is Southampton. But
he's like, yeah, here we go.
Southampton is definitely the team of the week. They've had a fantastic week, by the way.
And on paper, I just want to point out Southampton should be like in 16th, but they are in 10th. Because honestly, in terms of player quality, this is Southampton's worst team since 2010, in my opinion.
Do you think so?
Player for player, it's their worst team. Think about how stacked they were in the Poch days.
Yeah.
And even Claude Puel had some better players.
But that Mark Hughes period, I was looking at this team and the Pellegrino, what's his name? I think it's Pellegrino. It's just a bit like I don't know.
Yeah.
Any chance for Chelsea? Went away
champion.
Won 2 games on the continent, champions of the world.
We already had to admit you're champions of the world, so yeah.
You get a nice gold badge. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, we're not team of the week. You guys are correct. Adrian says he sees the Werner.
Oh God, I really hope not.
Goal of the week.
Goal of the week. Neil Maupay.
No, guys. Can
Let's see more pies, bro.
Oh,
please,
delicious.
I beg.
Oh, guys, we have to go to Malolowski.
Malolowski, the Atalanta Juventus game. That goal, I jumped out of my seat. It was absolutely sensational.
It was a how you say it in English? It was crazy.
Prima. It was a golazo. Like
it was a golazo. Yeah, that's what it was.
It was a golazo.
Atalanta drew 1-1 with Juventus, and their opener was quite a shot. I'd recommend all of you going to have a look at it. SW6 says Atalanta versus Juve banger. Any other good goals in the Premier League or elsewhere?
There was another. Che Adams with that Thierry Henry like finish.
Who did Brighton play for that Mopai goal?
Watford away. It was. He should have. He had no right to score.
I didn't see that game.
It's a good goal. It's a bloody good goal. He had no right to score. Mopai's already equaled his top goal scoring record in the Premier League for Brighton.
Yeah, I'm happy to give it to Malolowski. There weren't that many.
Malolowski, I was like, yeah.
What? We're giving it abroad now, yeah? Is that what we're
doing?
What? Mopai? Okay, look. SW6 is saying Mopai.
I haven't seen the Mopai goal, but I'm watching.
The Mopai goal was
good.
good. Peter, you need to watch.
I'm watching Malolowski. I'm watching Atalanta's one now.
Yeah, watch Malolowski, bro.
Oh, tell me, Dusan Vlahovic scored again, or he didn't?
No, it wasn't. No,
because he's got 2 in 3 now, which is friggin' annoying.
It was Danilo.
No. Okay.
Abdi said, "You're not seeing me again till further notice. I constantly get ambushed on here. Bun this podcast." Abdi, I love having you as a commenter on this podcast. I really do. But you have to stop saying things that get you ambushed.
I'm gonna be honest. Mopai mishit that shot. He mishit that. He shins that. I'm sorry.
Oh
Shinner.
My god!
Is it a shinner? Let me have a
it's a shinner.
It's a tecker. It's a tecker. It's a technique.
No, he's not lifting that into the top corner. He fluffs it.
Wait. Pete, didn't this happen with Mopai earlier on in the season? Yes. Where he scored a goal, and I was like, he didn't mean that, did he?
Why are you riding out for Mopai? Doesn't he beef your entire club?
Listen, Bob, I love it. The thing is, here's the thing.
It comes off his knee. It comes off his knee almost. Come on. Hold on. I'm getting a better angle.
I've got something.
Shins that, bro. Comes off the top of his leg.
I've got a soft spot for French centre forwards. I don't know what it is. I mean, I grew up. That was my diet in the late 90s and early 2000s. So I've got a soft spot for them. But yeah, I like Neil Mopai. I think he's good.
Yeah, I think he's good too.
But because it's funny because all that screaming about they need a striker, which they do. But like, I feel like Mopai is still pretty good. But hey,
Peter, stop it, man! Stop it!
He's not good enough to get them into a European place, which is where their XG says they should be.
Blue 1905. He said, "I didn't know you have a YouTube channel, Oscar." Yes, this is the Top 4 podcast. Every Monday we're live.
Is that another American?
He's actually Russian, but he lives in America. Big up, Alex.
Oh word.
I'm going abroad for Golden Week. I can't lie.
I mean, Malowski's goal was good. I'm sure there was a better goal than that this weekend, though. If we were going to go all around Europe, Malowski's goal was good. But yeah,
love, bro, love Abdi. All right, so who's the? Is it Shea Adams? Is that what we're doing, or are we going?
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
I'm confused. Domestically, for me, it's Shea Adams. Abroad, it's definitely Malolowski.
Yeah.
By the way, Leeds. Right. Yeah, I was watching the Everton Leeds game. There was 2 shots. I think Rodrigo it was Rodrigo twice
hit the bar,
rattles the bar, and I sat there like, yo, this was gonna be a goal. But
that was tough. That was tough.
Yeah,
Shea Adams.
Everton were playing some nice stuff though.
They did. They looked all right. I'm hoping that continues.
I'm not, but yeah.
David, who's not that guy, man?
Who's not that guy, Both? Can we first start off with all these sponsors that come out the woodwork? Trying to get thing cancelled by Kurt Zuma, bro. So what is it?
Vitality.
By the way, did you hear Graham Souness? No, I need to laugh. I need you guys to laugh with me. Graham Souness was basically like, from the video, it looks like it didn't look like the cat did anything wrong. I died laughing.
Yeah.
I said, "Yo, Graham."
He's talking about it. He's talking about it like it's an on-pitch incident. Doesn't appear to make any contact with Zuma there.
You know, like there's possible room. Like there's possible room that should we really get mad at this?
Can I? Okay.
And then let me give my guy. Because he's come out with Vim, bruv. Yeah, this gentleman.
Please.
2nd of May 1981, in it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's an English football coach and a former professional goalkeeper.
Yes.
Born in Barwell, England. Yeah. He's played for Coventry City, Liverpool, went along to West Brom, Wigan, all them things there. I saw this guy used to concede bare goals, but I don't even know how his career.
Yeah, he's a shocker.
It's been a shocking career. Then he decides to go on, is it BBC Breakfast?
Yes.
And man had the what?
He first went on TalkSport. He did so well there. They asked him to go on the BBC Breakfast Show.
Oh, right.
And then he comes with all the energy, bruv, saying what Zuma did is worse than racism.
Did he say worse or was like?
He said worse.
You said worse. Yeah.
So it was an escalation of things. So he was saying that, the treatment of Zuma needs to be severe, needs to be horrible. Obviously, players have done things that's been racist on the pitch and said horrible things, and they've got 8-game bans. Suarez has bitten people, but this is actually worse because the animal is defenseless. That's basically what his argument was.
So for that, Hall of Famer, bruv, he has to go in there, bruv. Yeah, Christopher
Hall of Fame.
Christopher Edmund Kirkland. You're not that guy, bruv. Sort it out, bruv.
As a former Liverpool goalkeeper, Evan, how do you respond to Mr. Kirkland?
Yeah, he's a shocking player. I'm not sure how you could be injured that much as a goalkeeper. This guy would take a goal kick and get injured, and then he'd be gone for 4 months. Those are my only memories of Chris Kirkland growing up. Funnily enough, he and his dad got in trouble for a betting offense because his dad laid down a cheeky £10,000 bid that his son would represent England one day, and they got in trouble for that somehow, and that bled over into Liverpool's bubble somehow. I don't know. Those are my only memories of Chris Kirkland. Nice to see that he's found a new way to be disappointing in the modern era. So good job, Chris Kirkland.
Even his apology was disappointing.
I got one more.
One sec, David. One sec. Take it from me, Goalkeepers Union. Any goalkeeper that wears a hat has to be questioned.
Exactly. There's no sun in the UK. What's he wearing a hat for? It's not sunny there.
He was at Liverpool and Wigan with a hat. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I went to Liverpool. I didn't see the sun once. So he's wearing a hat for another reason.
Anything north of Watford sun doesn't exist.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I have one more.
Okay, I've got one after you, sir.
Another Hall of Famer. Oscar, you can't.
Double action.
He has to go.
Oh no! But
he's been too crazy with it.
I think he's a Hall of Famer for sure. But I don't think this week he can go in. I don't think he can go in this week, David.
Who is this?
Go in. I have evidence.
Okay, go on, David.
I'll keep it short and sweet. It's 11 o'clock. So he's born the 7th of December 1980. Very decorated. Where was he born actually? Barking. He's an East Londoner, bruv.
Yeah, he's an East Londoner.
He's decorated.
I can't believe he did this.
He's been named UEFA Club Defender of the Year in 2005, 2008, 2009. PFA's Player of the Year in 2005. He's just decorated guy, and he got done but he got banned by the FA and got stripped of captaincy for being a little bit racist, blood to one of the Ferdinand brothers, yeah. So he's retired. He's going about his business, and then so this year 2022, bro, this gentleman has decided to be brazy on Twitter, bro. First of all, there was a random monkey picture. I don't know
my god!
something about Tammy Abraham. I don't. Was it linked with Tammy Abraham?
No.
Yeah.
So he's got a range of NFTs, and they're all monkey pictures. And he's doing collaborations with ex-Chelsea players, like legends. So he posted a picture. At first, it was Willian, and it was like this NFT monkey. And it was like, hey, this is Willian. He's joined my NFT clan. And it's like John Terry posting Willian as a monkey. It's just ridiculous. Let me see if I can find the picture.
Bro, no. Literally, it's like if South Park did an episode on like John Terry, and they're like an NFT collection of my former black teammates as monkeys. It's literally like a fucking South Park skit, bro.
My God,
it's horrid. I'm gonna screenshot it so you can see it.
No, I've seen it. It's
then the following day, not the following day. When was it? I don't know if
it was yesterday after Chelsea won the Club World
Sunday?
Cup. No, it was when Chelsea won the club.
Yeah.
Literally straight after Chelsea won the Club World Cup.
He tweeted, yeah. Chelsea's dressing room last night, realizing you've won it all. A blue heart, the trophy, and dancing. And then he types, how good are these kids dancing? And he's got these kids. I don't know what country this is.
These are Ugandans.
Ugandans. These are Ugandans.
Are they Ugandans? I thought they were South Africans.
No. They're like a famous. That kid is like a famous.
I have to see this. What's his at?
Oh,
it's
you
like
haven't seen it?
It's like John Terry in like 12 numbers, right?
Oscar
Sherry's 26.
Oh, he changed it. Okay.
Just go on Twitter, type in John Terry. It's the first one.
I need to see this.
It's the first one. It will come out. Yeah. It was so random. I'm like, rah. This guy don't care anymore. He's just trolling.
No. Let me tell you what the worst part. I've just pulled it up. Let me tell you what the worst part of it is. Because in the video that he's posted, there's a watermarked @ that says @Ghetto Kids TFUG. So there's literally a watermark that says Ghetto Kids on it, and I'm like, oh, dude.
So induct another Hall of Famer, John George Terry. What was the slogan at Chelsea again? The banner?
Captain, leader, legend.
And you know that guy, bruv. Sort it out, bruv. Add that on top of that.
This is a man who parked in a disabled bay. I won't get over this.
This is the video.
Is mental.
Oh, dude.
Scroll up just a little bit so we can get
going to see the
caption.
Wait, give me a second.
Oh, what, you can't?
What is that again? There you go.
You can see it now. Oh, this is ridiculous! Oh my God!
He said Chelsea's dressing room last night. Do you know what?
Scroll down so you can see the watermark. You gotta look at.
No. But do you know where we need to scroll down to? It's the comments because people were saying some crazy wild thing. Okay, there's hella videos in there now. But when I first checked it, oh my goodness,
what's going on?
So people are very happy that it's Ugandan. Like people are like, yo, these boys from Uganda are getting all their shine. But
not this.
The comments that I saw are no longer there. Jeez, there was.
I'm worried that you might scroll onto something. So I was like,
I've stopped. There was Boss Lakendo said Ugandans embarrassing themselves again. Shut up, Boss Lakendo. No, there was a comment that said, "Oh, he looks like a young Callum." I said, "Oh my God,
a young Callum."
They were like young Callum and Chalobah. That's what they were saying because horrible. I'm going to be very, very quick and swift. I've got a not that guy for us. This gentleman was born in September 1971. He played for Chelsea, Celtic, Derby County. 100 appearances for Chelsea, over 100. But from the years of 1995 to 2003, he made 46 caps internationally for Scotland. Now, this gentleman is also employed by ESPN and hosts a...
Oh, what? He played for Chelsea?
He played for Chelsea.
I had no idea.
He played for Chelsea. And he hosts a mediocre show on that channel. I mean, is that fair to call it mediocre?
No.
A bit of Steve Nicol.
It's mediocre.
It's a poor show. It's a poor show alongside Shaq and Hislop and Frank LeBeouf and other ex-Premier League players and whatnot. But he had the nerve to come out this Saturday and say that whilst Chelsea were winning a plastic cup and lapped it up like it was a World Cup win, Man City were raking up a 16-point gap on them in a competition that really matters. Let that sink in. He also, so that's a tweet I just read. He also went on his channel on ESPN FC and berated the competition, saying it's nonsense. The competition is not worth playing. It's a Tin Pot Cup. It's plastic, and they're celebrating it like they've won the World Cup. And I just want to say, I don't even need to get into why that is all complete nonsense. I just want to say, Craig Burley, you're not that guy. You're bitter. You are sour. And you'd have a lack of respect for a competition that celebrates all four continents. Well, not all four continents, but celebrates other continents outside of Europe.
This is the part of British culture I don't like. When they look at the FIFA Club World Cup and you're calling it plastic, and I'm sure he's going to be lording up the League Cup. I'm pretty sure he will.
Yeah,
do you know
he's going to be like, oh, you got to win the League Cup against Liverpool. That's the most important thing, isn't it?
And he played in. He's a Scottish lad. He played in Scotland, and they have a tournament that ends in November. We could be here all day. The disrespect he has, but it's that. What's the term I'm looking for when you're looking your nose up at something? When you sort of like you're above this, like it's almost like this dibby thing, and it's a bit like I hate that culture. I hate that thing where people just write off the Club World Cup, bruv. I want to win that.
Yeah. Apparently, he's really bitter because Chelsea got to an FA Cup final and Ruud Gullit dropped him from the squad. And ever since that day,
for Chelsea.
That was his last. That was his last sort of game for Chelsea. He left that summer, and apparently people think he's bitter because of it.
Oscar, this is the same Ruud Gullit who dropped Alan Shearer when he was at Newcastle. This guy's a savage. Let me tell you, Ruud Gullit was an absolute savage. Okay,
I'm gonna stick something very, very quickly because I just thought it was hilarious. A very honourable mention of Leicester City bottling 2-1 at the very end at the death.
Oh, Brendan bottled it again.
That was very, very funny.
Guys,
But
I saw him bringing on Vestergaard at I think 89 minutes, and I said he's going to drop this game. And some people here last week were talking about how Vestergaard is better than Pablo Mari. I'm so sorry. We bring on Pablo Mari, we don't drop the game. We don't drop the points.
Yeah, but you start him and you drop the
game. We win games too. We're on the FA Cup, Oscar. Relax. Also, I'm just astonished that because I saw it before my eyes. He's going to drop this lead. He's actually going to drop this lead, and West Ham are going to equalize. And lo and behold, Vestergaard, who's nowhere near Dawson, lets the man, and he's twice the size of Dawson. Anyway, Vestergaard, what a clown! And Brendan Rodgers is a muppet as well.
Yeah.
Anything else on Brendan? Or did you have anything else?
No. I just wanted that was a quick mention. That's quite funny.
Okay, quickly. Premier League fixtures for next week. Very briefly. Man United are playing tomorrow at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. Oh, Neil Morpie, come on!
Did you say Morpie?
I know, Neil Morpie.
Yeah, man. Let's hope he gets another one off the shin. Maybe one off the knee this time.
My eyes will be firmly on PSG versus Real Madrid.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
Look at that. Yeah, he's watching PSG instead of watching Manchester United. What a sorry state of affairs.
PSG Madrid, Man United or Brighton. Come on, what game am I watching?
If Arsenal were playing Brighton, I'm watching Arsenal Brighton. What? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm watching Arsenal Brighton. And the thing is, Brighton can play. Lads.
But after 11, y'all ain't seen nothing.
Brighton can play, by the way. So I'm looking forward to seeing Brighton play some nice football at Old Trafford.
I'm not watching it, Peter. We're going to be watching Real Madrid versus PSG. Okay,
you will find me. The thing is, Man United's not on TV, so you're lucky because I was going to have my eyes fully fixed on that game.
Peter hates the Champions League, guys. I think we need to understand that. Peter hates that.
I've been in it, bro.
Listen, I don't know what it looks like since 2017. Trust me. I don't hate it. I just don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, Real Madrid versus PSG. That's the real. I don't even know why we're spending this long on United. Who cares?
All right, fine. Nobody cares about Man United. Okay, what are we saying? PSG, Real Madrid.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for a PSG.
I'm going PSG.
Yeah, I think they take it to Madrid.
Only because Benzema's not fit, I would go with PSG. But I don't trust.
Is Vinicius fit?
I don't think so.
Yeah, actually, man, they're looking limp. I think.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't trust PSG as far as I can throw them.
I need to ask you to.
So, especially
when I say Vinicius versus Hakimi, is Vinicius fit? Is a question I have. I don't know. Last time I watched Madrid, he didn't play.
Anyway, lads, I got early start in the morning. Arsenal for the win. So, hey, Lacazette, you need to bang in them goals. Evan, enjoy the sun. I'm seeing the sun is shining out there. Our weather here is just absolute garbage.
What's the temperature out there right now?
Like 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, that's not too bad.
Okay.
That's not too bad. February, that's really nice.
Not bad.
That's nice.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect.
That's great.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Ladies and gents, Lola, FW6, what's like Endo? Stop, like, come on, bro. I saw that Mangala comment. I like.
Yeah, I left it.
We all did.
Well,
We all
go
did. It was
boys,
mad.
cuz I don't know why you're always coming after me, but David sends out later, people.
bro. Laters, bro.
Scroll back if you want to see people. It was mad. I was like,
I can't be asked. All right, so I'm gonna go. Yeah. What is PSG? Neymar's not fit, is he?
No, Neymar is fit.
Neymar's
back.
fit, bro. They saved him for this game.
As they do every year. He's always injured in January and he rocks up in February. Half fit though. I guess. Yeah, PSG at home. I guess we'll go with PSG.
Yeah.
Sporting Lisbon take on Manchester City.
You're not being serious, Peter.
What?
Are we just Sporting Lisbon versus City? City win, man. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, in case anybody had a different opinion. Listen, have you been to the Andrade? I've been to that stadium. It's fiery.
It's a lovely stadium.
I love it.
Stadium.
That's my favorite team in Portugal.
I hear that.
I guess RB Salzburg, Bayern. We all think Bayern. Inter Liverpool.
Yeah,
Jesus of Nazareth. Inter versus Liverpool at the San Siro, the Giuseppe Meazza. What do we think?
I really want Inter to do something, but I think Liverpool will win 2-1.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of Liverpool rocks up in this. Because, like Liverpool in the last 16, they give people... I remember they gave Bayern a bag. They gave Porto a bag. Now they could give... If they give Inter Milan a bag, then I'll really take Liverpool seriously.
Listen,
Champions League.
At the time we played Milan twice in the group stage towards the end of last year, Milan were the best team in Italy at the time. They were top of the league. And we made a mockery of them in their own backyard. So obviously this inter-team player for player is probably better. But yeah, I think we could expect, I think Lucho Diaz will play. He did not see the pitch against Burnley. Obviously you don't want to throw your shiny new signing out at Turf Moor. But yeah, it'll be a strong Liverpool team. Certain people were rested. Diogo Jota will play.
Also, remember now, there's no more away goals or whatsoever.
You
so
just got to
now
play,
bet
man.
who is the best. You got to play now.
It's a controversial thing. I am personally pro this rule. I think it's good.
I'm very pro for the rule.
I am anti away goal because I think it kills ties too quickly. I think it's.
I was going to say, Robin, we're not agreeing. You're not agreeing with Evan.
No. I thought you was pro rule. Okay,
Evan agrees with me.
I was there for
Okay. So
an away goal rule is bent.
Explain to me the logic of how those ties get killed and how these ties will be more open. Explain it to me. I don't.
Let's say Liverpool wins. Inter needs to score 3 at Anfield, if that makes sense, and that's harder.
What changes with away goals? Surely,
because it's still just because if say Liverpool win 3-1 at San Siro, that tie is over. But 3-1 just as a base, Inter just need to win 2-0.
And
to get back to level.
Even though Liverpool have scored 3 away goals, the game's not over. 3-1, the game's done.
Here's the thing, and when I say it kills it too quickly, let's imagine we're in extra time in the second leg, and away goal just murders the edge of extra time. Let's be honest, because it counts as 2. I think. I just don't think away goals. Personally, what I would have done is I would have made away goals not a thing in extra time. If a game goes to extra time, away goals shouldn't count. That's the first step I would have taken. I was a bit surprised they scrapped the entire thing, but I do think it is the way forward. I just don't think it also promotes kind of a shitty brand of football, playing for the away goal.
Do you remember the?
I don't know. I think I completely disagree, and the reason I disagree is because I feel like. Now, teams like if you're going away from home, let's say you're an underdog team, you're going away from home to Bayern Munich, right? You're just going to park the bus at the Allianz. If there was an away goal, you had the opportunity to say, do you know what? This goal could be more valuable. So we're going to go and get this. Surely now, if I'm Chelsea, we go to the Allianz, we sit tight, 5 at the back, we defend our goal, we hope to bring you back home and we beat you at home. Is that
But
not
that's
how
boring.
teams
It's
are going to
boring
play now?
for us. It's boring for us who don't
But I'm saying-
who don't support either side.
But Pete, I'm saying if we had away goals, there's an incentive for me to score away.
I see what you're saying. And listen,
There's
away
no
goals
incentive for me to score away now. I can
Away
just chill and draw the game.
away goals were good in their own right, but in extra time they kill the edge of the game too quickly. That's my argument. I'm fine with away goals in normal time, but in extra time, it's too much of a dagger in extra time.
Look,
away goals is bent. I'm not lying here. It's a bent rule because this idea that I go and play at San Siro and my one goal counts as 2, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Like, I get it. Like, it's so dumb to me. I don't know. I don't understand. And also, you play 30 extra minutes at an other ground if you happen to be drawing. Like, it's not fair.
You guys know how in a video game when there's a mechanic that works too well, they call it overpowered. Like, that gun in Call of Duty is overpowered. Mo Salah in FIFA 22 is overpowered. OP. Away goals were OP. They weren't bad, but they were too powerful, in my opinion. They carried too much weight.
For me,
added to the drama.
Now the thing is, for me, my big problem is a team will draw 2-2, and a team gets knocked out of the competition. That is bent. That is a farce.
Yeah.
How can I draw with you, but I'm out because my goals came at home and your goals came away?
Imagine it's 2 equal teams, basically in skill level and all that, and they draw 0-0 in the first leg because just no one can find the net. But in the second leg, they have an equally tight 50-50 contest, and it finishes 1-1. The away team gets to go through, even though over 2 legs the teams were basically inseparable.
I get you. I'm not against.
I watched Arsenal go out in the Champions League in 2007 against PSV Eindhoven because of an away goal.
Yeah. Yo, you knew what it was when you stepped in the ring, man. You knew what it was.
The rules were the rules. I love the chaos.
We go to Anfield. We go to Anfield because none of you lot went out on an away goal. I guarantee that. I guarantee none of you lot went out in an away goal. Robin,
did we?
Robin, Kelsey, who'd you go to?
I'm thinking back. I'm trying to think.
We went to the Nou Camp and drew with Barcelona 0-0. We came back to Stamford Bridge and they drew 1-1. That Iniesta goal was an away goal.
Yeah, but
what do you mean? Yeah, but no. You asked me for an example. I gave you an example.
What I was saying was that the reason that you're pro away goal, I'm thinking. I
just said I'm not pro away goal. I just wanted to hear Evan's logic behind why he's not. I don't.
You said you disagree. We made an argument for a thing.
No, for me personally, I just love the. I love the. I'm just gonna say, I just love the added pressure it gave with it. And the more chaos, that's why I love it.
Bull.
I love it. It's an element that's too random, and the fact that the away goal is just as powerful as it is in the first minute of the first leg as it is in the 119th minute of the second leg is not okay.
No, and I agree with you. Like I said, for me, the reason I loved it wasn't necessarily. I've agreed it's not fair and all that stuff. I just said it made another element of the last 16 forward more exciting. That's all I'm saying. Get going away makes it more fair. And I agree with you.
Robin loves the stipulation.
I do love a stipulation.
It's not WWE.
I think for me, I wasn't pro away goals or against away goals. My thing was, Evan is telling me now that it's gonna make games more exciting, and I didn't understand how that's gonna work. So
exciting, maybe not as exciting because the away goal brings an element of chaos to it. But I do think it'll be more fair. We'll see.
It will be 100% more fair.
We'll see. We'll definitely see outcomes that are not as kind of like, come on, how is that happening? Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong.
You wouldn't get what happened to us versus PSG. If that makes sense. When they were firmly better than us, somehow we went through in the end.
You're still going to get that, though.
Yeah.
You're still going to get that. Chelsea, we played Barcelona in 2012. They were firmly better than us. We beat them on goals, not on away goals. We beat them. We scored more goals than them. So you're still going to get that.
You know, I'm talking from a place of hurt, understandably, because I've gone out like 3 or 4 times in the Champions League, drawing, and to AC Milan's, to Bayern Munich's, to friggin' Valencia. Like I've watched my team, Monaco. I'm watching teams go through because we drew together. It's the absolute it's the best I've ever seen.
Shout out to Adam. He says you didn't go out on away goals to PSV in 2007 because they won the first leg, and then you ended up drawing 1-1 at the Emirates.
You know, I forgot we lost the first leg. I don't know why I thought it was. I just remember 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, look. I'm happy there's a change. I want to see what happens. I remember when they moved it to 1 leg for that 1 year, and I was like, "Yo, this 1 leg thing is really exciting."
I think it's a fascinating discussion, and we could easily in like 12 months' time be like, "Yeah, away goals need to come back. That was boring." Like, again, this is the trial of it. We're about to find out if it's good or bad, and it might take a few years to get to where we need to be. But guys, I gotta run. It's been.
I feel you.
We all gotta run.
It's been an incredible discussion. I feel like we ticked every single box.
Bro. Normally we go on for 2 hours, and I'm like, 2 hours is way too long. But the conversation was just flowing. We love having you on, Evan. Thanks for bringing the vibes.
Yeah. Quick plug before you go.
Yes.
Quick plug where they can find you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you bring the nameplates back up, you can find me at Soccer. Where am I pointing? Oh yeah, at Soccer God on Twitter and YouTube. I just hit 200 subscribers on YouTube. Great milestone.
Yeah,
it feels good. It feels good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing stuff. As the transfer window grows closer, of course, people want videos on new players and what teams are doing. But yeah, follow me on there for like match reactions and things like that. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see me become entirely unhinged on match days. It's a good time. I love coming on here and talking to you guys about stuff because it's just a genuine conversation. You know what I mean? It's very free flowing and it feels very nice. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday as well.
Yeah, thank you.
I just subbed to the channel. What's the plans for tonight?
The plans, unfortunately, as you can see, my birthday is falling on a Monday, which is not very cool. So, the reason I had so much time today is because, I have nothing to do on my birthday, but everybody else has things to do, significant others to be with. So I'll be hitting up all the boys that are single, like myself, seeing if they want to be sad and lonely together, and we can celebrate my birthday. It'll be cool.
I feel that. I'd be finding a way to celebrate. And I just want to say, on Evan's channel, man, go check it out. Obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan, and you talk mainly about Liverpool. But when I watch your videos, like you give good insight, and it's entertaining as well. So I appreciate them all the time. Still,
I have a 2-hour video on Chelsea, actually.
True.
Go check that out. I did a stream about Chelsea because yeah.
Can we do a video for the FA Cup, for the League Cup final?
Yes, we absolutely can. We definitely should do a build up to the League Cup final because listen, we gotta lead that marketing charge into hyping up the domestic cups, right?
That's our job. Not gonna do it. We have to do it.
It's our
I am definitely not gonna do it. So enjoy.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. All right, man. People, I guess we'll just leave the rest of the fixtures alone. Yeah, we'll just come back next week. Yeah. There's a lot. By the way, don't forget as well at Top 4 Podcast tomorrow 5 p.m. UK time. There will be a Premier League stats video produced by myself. And remember, every Monday 8 p.m. we are live. Make sure you follow at the Top 4 Podcast on Twitter, on Spotify, iTunes,
if you're still watching,
SoundCloud.
Please like the video as well.
Like the video.
We don't
if
tell
you've made
you
it this
enough.
far, if you've made it this far,
162 subscribers. Come on.
It's
under 300. Under 300. Under 40 to go to get to this 100 mark.
There we go. Now you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Please do subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter for all the updates, and we'll be back here next week. See you then.
Peace.